Giants a playoff victory in San Diego. Everybody, welcome in. Ben and Woods, 97.3. The Fan, look who's back in town. The whole crew back together again. Great to see everyone. Man, what a few days off we've had. We've missed a ton. I'll tell you that right now. We missed a ton, and I would like to say I was thinking about it. I think I missed you guys. I'm not sure. I really had such a great time that I was like, did I miss being at work? I can't say that I did. I missed talking to you guys and feeling in the loop, but I had such a great time on my trip that I didn't. It wasn't like normal, where I'm usually raring to get back. I would have liked to sleep in a little bit longer today, but can't do it, man. We're back in action, wrapping up the month of October this week, which is insane. I'm Woodsy. That's Paul Reindl. He's the executive producer of the program. Good morning, Paulie.
Hey, how are you?
Doing good. How are you? You good?
I'm great.
Everything's straight?
Everything's good.
Good. And Ben Higgins, your friendly neighborhood sports anchor. Benjamin, back from his trip as well. Big golf excursion. How are you?
I'm good, but I'm a little worried because you usually are raring to come back.
I
after
usually
a few
am.
days off.
I was not today.
You love to see us. You love to get back into the swing of the show, but you just want to keep sleeping in and
playing baseball,
relaxing some more.
No, I want to keep sleeping and then getting up and playing baseball all day. That really was what it was for me when I went out to Arizona, played in this big tournament, and I had such a great time being together with some guys I don't get to see very much, guys flying in from around the country. And it's the closest. Now, we go to fantasy camp every year. And I realized this when we go to fantasy camp, it's unbelievable. It's a killer experience. But we still do a show every day when we're at fantasy camp. You have stuff that you have to do for fantasy camp. Hey, after this, we're going to hang around and we're going to do this and that, right? But with this, it was go play baseball, go home, eat, get your body right for the next day, get up and go play baseball again. And that's what the gig was. And it was just so much fun. Now, we didn't play our best, certainly, but we did make the playoffs.
That's good.
We lost in the playoffs. I did not think we would. We won 3 straight to get in.
Just like our favorite team.
That's exactly right.
Like well enough to get into the playoffs, but then didn't do well once you got to the playoffs.
It's funny. I did feel a little like Mike Schilt. If Mike Schilt's players called him the day before the series in Chicago and said, hey, I can't make it. And he said, huh? I'm not coming. I couldn't get a babysitter. But you're a professional. Yeah, but I can't make it. I'm sorry. Well, you were literally throwing game 2. I don't know what you want me to do. Well, you've had 9 months to figure it out. Nah, I'm not coming. Okay? 4 of those guys, actually. Like the day I got to Arizona, I was like, I'm not going to make it. The panic sets in, and you can't replace them because the roster's turned in and everything else. So you're done. So by the time we got to the playoffs, we made the playoffs. I had to burn every arm I had. And I mean burn, including my own, which I was not expecting to do. You burn them. And then the morning of the playoffs, I texted everybody, hey, don't forget, 10 a.m., here's the field, here's the address. Who wants to pitch today in the playoff game?
Just like Mike Schilt does.
Just like Schilt. Can you imagine him walking? All right, guys, circle up. Who's got a few in them today? Everyone's just sitting there like, I'll do it, I guess. But I got some complete gamers on the team, and it was awesome to see.
Do you feel like you might need to retire as manager for your health and well-being?
No, God,
experience.
What it did for me is, unfortunately for my wife, is it's reignited the fire for the Arizona tournament every year, which I will be going to until I die. So I'm sorry to say it for everyone, you guys included, but I'm out next year. I already penciled our team in for different tournament, but different company that puts on basically the same tournament. It's much more affordable, better rules, better everything. So we're done, man. We're penciled in.
What time of year is that?
End of the year, end of September, 23rd through the 27th.
Oh, so like right in the middle of like the stretch run for the Padres.
Yeah, but I can take my gear if I had to. I'm not too worried about missing. You guys are here, so we're good.
We really didn't miss anything.
We missed nothing this week.
On Thursday and
literally
Friday.
Literally nothing.
Just a massive gambling scandal in the NBA pretty much.
Yeah, thank you to Sammy Levitt for coming in.
Yeah,
and
100%.
hopefully everybody enjoyed Sammy and a little best of content on Thursday and Friday. But there was no Padres news. I mean, yes, there's been World Series games, but those were Friday and Saturday. We wouldn't have had shows between then and now anyway. So we'll react to everything that happened over the weekend this morning. But I felt like, it was kind of all quiet on the Padres front, all quiet on the sports front, really, for a couple of days, other than you said the massive NBA poker scheme and gambling scandal that broke last week. And we can react to that during Don't Do This probably later this morning.
Yeah, no question. And we got we're going to talk some SDFC at 6:35. But great win last night. Watched the whole thing. Really exciting. I mean, very exciting. Snapdragon was exploding last night, and you could hear it on the television. You could see the smoke, and it was a really cool scene. So San Diego showed out for that. But yeah, well, we got a lot of stuff to talk about with the World Series. Just a lot of stuff to talk about in general. But again, on the Padres front, it's been extremely, extremely quiet. But there's some interesting baseball stories. Good World Series so far. Certainly tied at 1-1. Was driving back. I decided to leave. We lost on Saturday. And I could have stayed and went and partied with my buddies Saturday night, but I really wanted to get back. So I went home, showered, packed, hit the road. And, by the time I got to Yuma, it was time for the game to start, which was great. So I just put it up on my phone, and I had the World Series to kind of take me through till I got home, which was excellent. Now, the funny part is, as I'm driving home, I wanted to share this with everyone, and she's going to cringe so hard right now that I'm telling the story on the radio, but this is what she married.
It is.
I've
been waiting for this since Saturday night.
I was driving home and was following along this text thread between my wife, Hannah, and a very handsome single dad friend of ours. And I mean, he's a buddy. I love this guy. He loves me. He's got a son. His son and Bo are extremely tight. And that afternoon, early in the afternoon, he had texted a thread with me and Hannah on it and said, "Hey, any interest in checking this out tonight with the kiddos?" His son is itching for some Halloween stuff. My wife writes back, "Yes, Steven is out of town, but we were already planning on heading down there this evening. I'll text you when we're on our way." He writes back, "Love it. What time are you thinking?" She says, "Maybe 5:36. He says, "Great. Let me know when you're leaving. We'll head out then and meet you there." And this is perfect. 5:15. I'm in the midst of driving home. Finishing up dinner in the Forum. Be there closer to 6, my wife says. He says, "Love it. We'll shoot for 6 p.m. arrival too." Hannah says, "On our way." He wrote, "Great. Leaving the house right now." So I text my wife. I go, "Hey, have fun on your date tonight with this very, very handsome single dad."
You sent over a picture. I literally thought it was Bradley Cooper.
Correct. Bully.
No, I did not until I saw.
Correct.
Until you sent the text, and I could see his little icon picture.
I
and I was like,
know.
okay, that's the same picture. I literally thought it was Bradley Cooper in a parka.
So it's 5:15. I'm driving home. I'm like, F this. I start hauling ass to my house, hoping that they're home from their date by the time I get home, at least, right? So,
and you're on this thread.
I'm on the thread.
At least you were included
That's
in the
fair.
thread
That's fair.
of your wife setting up her date while you were gone.
I'm getting started to open the door. So I was like, well, I have been gone a lot.
She has needs.
A woman's got needs, Paulie. What am I supposed to do? Who am I to stand in their way of taking they're taking steps with my children at the haunted house. And I was off playing baseball with my friend.
You're off coaching first base in Tempe.
Third base, but yes.
Big question here. Are Bo and Taylor calling him other dad?
No,
yet,
not
or anything
yet.
like that? Okay.
Not yet.
Just checking.
Somebody in the chat said, "This is how those true crime documentaries start." So I write. Again, I wrote, "Hey,
God.
have fun on your date. I'll be home in 2 hours." No response. No response. So I get nothing from her. I didn't write it in that thread. I wrote it in a separate thread to her. Have fun on your date. I'm home in 2 hours. Yeah, they'll call him our good-looking dad. That's right.
Handsome dad.
Handsome dad. And I was laughing because it did make me I was a little bit, I didn't feel like, I don't do jealousy. Like I'm not a jealous person at all, not even a little bit. But there was something, and I couldn't quite pinpoint it. I was like, this makes me uncomfortable. I don't think I would like this very much. I need to make sure that I, handle my business at home, that I make sure, because reading it it was like I was spying on someone. And again, if you go through, it sounds just like, oh, this is how the budding romance started when he was out of town and he was there and he's very handsome and my husband's not. And, it freaked me out. I can't deny it. Really, really freaked me out. It really, really, really freaked me out to where I got home was like, hey, I'm really happy to see you. Thanks for letting me go.
You're in Gila Bend.
Yeah, I was in Gila Bend.
In the middle of nowhere.
Surrounded by hitchhikers on fentanyl, dude. I'm fully convinced, by the way. Listen, no offense. It wasn't jealousy. I swear it wasn't jealousy. Because I think jealousy invokes some sort of anger. I wasn't angry. I actually was laughing. I was like, this is too good. Like, this is too good. But it did give me, like, maybe a glimpse into if we ever did split. Like, that would wreck me. Like, that would wreck. I'd be right back on the bottle and probably the needle. You know what I mean? Like, that's how important my family is to me.
Now, if this was a female friend, you wouldn't feel the same way.
No, of course not.
Be absolutely reasonable.
Of course not.
So why would it be any different?
Because he is extremely handsome, and single. He
like one of the most handsome people I think I've ever seen.
Correct. He wouldn't do it. I know him. He wouldn't. But
not with you on the thread, he wouldn't.
Not with me on the thread.
Now, what about the threads that you aren't on?
She's not that way. She's just not that way. She's very loyal. And so I wasn't worried about it, but it did make me laugh. And it was like all right, pal, this is what it would be like. So if next time you start thinking, oh, maybe the grass is greener, it isn't. This would bum me out. So I'm pretty convinced. No offense to our Arizona listeners. I'm pretty convinced that 80% of your state is on methamphetamine or fentanyl. The entire state. Because either people were nodding out everywhere I went, or they were like cracked out of their gourds everywhere I went. And it's unsettling. Every time.
Yeah. Especially on the west side.
Yeah. And if you hit.
Where were you? You guys were in Tempe?
Tempe. Yeah, and it was like the grocery store guy that was putting our stuff away. He was falling asleep. I'm not joking. He was putting our stuff away. And he was like, and the lady's looking at me, shaking her head. I'm looking at her. I'm like,
we had talked about
should
it
I get in there and do
on
it?
Our last trip out there, which would have been, I guess, spring training last year. And when we got in to Phoenix, we had to go to the grocery store right away. Yeah. And you were like, just like notice it now.
Yeah, just
and
watch
I was like
it.
Looking around. I'm like, this is like the wheelchair capital of America.
Yeah,
everyone's in a wheelchair.
Zipping
Everyone
around.
is on drugs.
Yeah, the whole place. Like it's just a really weird. It's a weird scene in Arizona.
Every grocery store parking lot is wild.
It's wild. So, but the baseball was fun. The baseball was great. The fields were incredible. Playing on those big fields is kind of awful because you smoke a ball and it goes nowhere. Like it just makes it all that more impressive.
You sent a video of you smoking a 400-foot drive.
I never hit a ball that hard in my life. The runners on second and third. I've never hit a ball this hard ever. And I was like, oh, I got him. That's over his head. He made a Jim Edmonds-like catch, like up against the wall, but I scored 2 runs on a sac fly, which I've never seen in baseball before. Never. I can't remember the last time I've seen that without falling down and throwing it away. It's the hardest ball I ever hit. It's an out. But it was awesome, man. We got to do some pretty cool bonding. There was a moment, if you don't mind, share this moment. And I want my wife to listen to this because I know she's not excited about, well, maybe she's more excited about me leaving next year. She's planning another date with a very handsome guy. But there's a friend of mine. I've known him since I moved here, 15 years. and he moved away. He lives in Minneapolis now, and he's gone through it. He's gone through it. It's meant some mental challenges, and it's just tough living up in Minneapolis as well. That sun goes down, and it gets really cold, and you're just in the cold, dark Minnesota winter. And we've been texting a lot. We always do, but we were texting a lot. And he goes, man, I've been banged up. I'm injured. I don't even know if I can swing it, but I just want to be there. I said, bro, you're always welcome. Put you on the roster. We win, you win. And he's an elite teammate, the best. We'll go get every foul ball. He's always just there, dude. He'll coach, like whatever you need. He'll hit grounders. He's the best. So I said, how you feeling? He goes, I feel okay. He goes, man, one AB would change my life. One. And I said, all right, we'll see what we can do. So we're up 6-1. And I go, Patty, you're in. And he goes, no. I go, you're in. He gets up there. He works a 7-pitch walk, ends up scoring the run that wins us the game. We won that game 6-5. And no, 7-6. 7-6. We won that game 7-6. He walked off the field, dude, and he was in tears. And he grabbed me with a big hug, and I was in tears. The most special walk I've ever seen. And he kept telling me, you have no idea what that means to me. And I said, yes, I do. I know exactly what it means. So that's really, being out there with the guys was really the most important thing. And being able to hang with some buddies I haven't seen in a while was just so special. It was just so special. And I can't wait to do it again. I'm already recruiting studs for next September, but it was fun, man. I saw some tier ones out there that came to watch us play.
Nice.
It was incredible. It was a great time.
Well, I had a good weekend as well, playing golf with my buddy Scott in Henderson. We, like you, made the playoffs, but then flamed out in the championship round. But it's still,
yeah. But you made money on your tournament. Mine cost me a fortune.
We won our flight, made some money, got a nice engraved bottle of wine and a bottle opener as our trophy prize. Which was really cool. Had a couple of really good meals. Went to this mafioso Italian spot called Piero's just off the strip to celebrate, which was very cool. They filmed Casino, apparently, part of the movie.
Have I never been there,
restaurant.
dude?
I thought this
This
sounds perfect for Woods. Woods would love this place. Mob movie, Italian food. Had the veal parmigiana. It was
it's like
outstanding.
just north of the Win golf course.
Yeah, it's right by the Win golf course.
Yeah,
just behind the Win, and it was old school and really, really fun. So we had a good time. And then I got up early on Sunday yesterday, hit the road like at 5:15 a.m. just so I could beat all the traffic. Didn't stop all the way home.
Good.
Got home at 10 o'clock. It was one of the easier drives I've ever done.
Man, that's I'm glad you got to do that too. My cup is refilled, certainly. But I just wish I was going to the field to play ball today. I'm happy to be here with the tier ones and you guys. But yeah, it's going to take me a minute to get back into the swing. I just, you get out there and you feel like I'm missing everything. I missed, most of the news. Like we just played baseball and that's it, and rested and then went and played baseball again. So we'll get caught up on everything. I want to talk about this gambling scandal for sure. But yeah, it's good to be back. And it was great to see the kids, man. I had to coach yesterday. I got to coach yesterday. Coach T-ball, which was awesome. But I wanted to make sure I got back, gave myself a little time to recover, get all the laundry done. I mean, the whole thing. I drove home, you guys, so I took the jerseys back so I can do this again. I don't have to get new jerseys every time. I had 25 stinky, sweaty, smelly jerseys in the back of my car on a 5-hour drive, 5.5-hour drive. My car smells like a toilet, like an actual literal. It was right after the game, too. All right, let's get a team pick. You need your jerseys before you leave. And they're yanking them off of the field, throwing them in my wheelbarrow, and then I'm throwing it in the back of the car. It smells like a toilet.
And what do you do with those now?
Wash them, keep them in a box, and wait for the next tournament.
Correct. And you redistribute them next year.
Redistribute them next year. That's exactly right. Because you cannot do this every year where you got to track down, hey, what size are you? And I'm bringing 25 jerseys. Hopefully they fit. And if they don't, oh, well, we'll figure it out.
Paulie, wasn't that so much easier than Wednesday? Paulie and I had a good show without you on Wednesday, but Foreplay was
Why do you get so domed out?
I don't know.
Just shoot the ass.
We were both like, would someone throw us a life preserver?
Was it that bad?
I'm just trying to make it through the first 20 minutes of the show without you.
Yeah.
He makes it so easy to get started on a Monday morning.
Get it cranked up.
Yeah, I don't
crank your hog with Ben and Woods.
Don't want to get too
like it was Wednesday
high of an
last
opinion
week.
of yourself, but we were We were struggling. Yeah, no, just gonna get in the car. I'm gonna stop at
literally
Costco gas
nothing
station.
happened.
Nothing happened. And we're just sitting here, just like anyone got any
We
topics? Anything
we
to
made
talk
fun
about?
of you.
Come on.
We made fun of you in the time change in Arizona.
That's about all we had.
I told you guys. I sent you a video on the way back.
I still think it's user error.
It's not. I told you. I showed you the video. When I came back, my damn clock switched on me, and that's what got me. I thought my car would know and be right. It wasn't.
We got about 2 minutes worth of content out of that, and then
dead for 22 minutes. Man, I mean, if all I'm good for is foreplay, I'll wear it. That's fine. That's good.
it's not all you're good at.
It's not, but
It's something you're really good at.
It is
It's not all
really,
you're
really
good for.
nice to have you back for Foreplay to start out the week. And
good
it
to
should
be
be a
back.
good week. We'll set the menu for the show coming up, but remember we've got Halloween coming up this Friday.
You're so
which will be
nervous.
fun. I just found out that you have ordered costumes, but I don't know what they are.
Oh, yeah. I know what mine is. Paulie knows what his is, but you don't know what yours is, which always.
It's not a surprise party. It's Halloween.
Yeah, it's
and I asked,
tradition
why
at this
can't you
point.
just tell me what I'm going to be? No, I find out
That is a Ben
Friday
and Woods
morning
tradition.
when I get there.
You show up and get dressed.
I feel like if you would take more initiative on your costume and come in and say, I've got my costume.
I got a
then-
great idea,
Then
guys.
Paulie and I would say, okay, great. We can't wait to see it. But every year he's like, I don't know. Maybe I'll dress up as like a, I don't know, whatever, golfer. And I'm like, no, you got to put some
What if
effort
I'm like a
into it.
news anchor, but instead I wear these types of glasses? We're like, oh yeah, totally.
Next year, if you come up with your own costume, you can wear whatever you want.
Fair enough.
Anything, Big Bird, you can be whatever, Grover. Nobody cares. But since every year he's like, I'm not doing anything. We're like, okay, then you have to wear what we give
Do you want to be a Labubu, Ben? we can make that happen still.
freaking Labubu? God. Amazing. All right, let's get after it.
All right, let's get after it. We will check traffic to start the week with Kelly. Then when we come back, we'll set the menu for what we've got coming up on the program today, and we will jump right in to a playoff victory here in the city of San Diego. Nice job last night by SDFC as they opened the MLS Cup playoffs with a 2-1 win over Portland. We'll talk about that and then get into some Padres talk and more. Again, not a lot happening. Going to have to read some tea leaves in the offseason of what's going on with the Padres right now. It's all coming up with Bennett Woods and Paulie on a Monday morning on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Humul Casino Resort, now open. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Humul Casino Resort, now open.
So I'm not accusing anyone of anything. We were on vacation as well on Thursday and Friday. Did everybody else who covers the Padres also go on vacation? Because there was literally nothing written about this team by Kevin Acee, Jeff Sanders, Dennis Lynn, AJ Cassavell, and everyone deserves a few days off at the end of the season. I get it. We needed a couple of days off as well. Or literally has nothing happened since Albert Pujols interviewed on Wednesday.
I mean, did he?
Reportedly.
I didn't see a picture. I didn't hear a report. I didn't hear a single word about that meeting.
And in the meantime, a couple of managers, I think, have already been hired, right? Kurt Suzuki got hired when we were
Correct, by
gone.
the
We
Angels.
talked about that one.
Okay, you guys got that one.
The Giants, is that
It's
officially
official.
Tony
official?
Vitello.
They've hired Tony Vitello. And then
whoa!
reportedly last night, Craig Albernaz was hired by the Baltimore Orioles, who were also kicking the tires on Albert Pujols as well in their managerial search.
Yeah, there was some, I think, mutual interest there, but they ended up going with Albernaz. I don't know that Pujols even interviewed with Baltimore, but look, I don't know how to feel about any of this, to be honest. I had 25 guys ask me, what do you think? Where should we go? Is Pujols the right decision? And I said, I have no earthly idea. What I didn't know was anything about Craig Albernaz. Last night, I texted you guys and go, oh, obviously, Orioles are going to go with Craig Albernaz. As I did a little bit more digging. Seems like a pretty decent hire, a forward-thinking hire, but it will be a manager with no experience, but a young manager, and a young manager that was a catcher in the Rays organization, right? So, and then with the Giants and then the Guardians as well. So, the Guardians coaching tree is a pretty good one. Guys have split off of that and been fairly successful. Ruben Niebla being one of them. But yeah, Benny, I looked at it and I went, well, are we dragging our feet or are they making hires too quickly? I don't know the answer and only time will tell. But I also think I'm sitting here going, well, the Angels were already paying Albert Pujols. Now, we don't know if the interest was not like if he didn't want to do it. They went with Kurt Suzuki instead. The Orioles were interested. We don't know that he interviewed or didn't. And now they've gone with Craig Albernaz. Are the Padres the third choice for Albert Pujols, or where does it stand?
Or are the Padres so close deep in the process that they just decided to move on from Albert Pujols and those other organizations going, we think he's going to San Diego anyway. I could see it going both ways.
Absolutely. I mean, it's pure speculation at this point, but I asked you guys the question off the air. I would love to know. And I think we've asked guys before. I think we asked Skip when he interviewed with the Marlins, what's it like to sit down and interview for a manager's position? And I wonder, Albert Pujols, with all of his accolades, his MVPs, his 700-plus home runs, does he put together like a presentation, or does he just walk in and be like, hey, how you doing? And just sit down. Like, what do you got? What do you want? What do you want to know? What do you want to know that you can't see on film? Right? Do they throw scenarios in them? All right, second, third, one out.
I would hope so.
Like hit his hand on the table a little too hard. Oh, sorry, those World Series runs. They're a little loud.
Being a great player and winning a World Series does not at all guarantee you're going to be even a good manager.
It doesn't. It doesn't
mean
mean anything.
You have to prove that you have the acumen and the desire to really put in the work to be a good manager. It's
right, but he or seemingly all of these potential candidates don't have managerial experience. So what are they supposed to do?
They put together a big, long presentation about how they will manage, every detail laid out. Like, here's how I envision, setting up spring training. Here's how I envision, collaborating with the front office when it comes to lineups and stuff. They will go through these discussions during what are usually long interviews. I mean, AJ Preller is known for multiple hour sessions when he is talking to managerial candidates, which he's done many times now in his career as a GM. I would think that Albert Pujols needs to do the same. It's not simply, here's my resume as a player, take me or leave me. You have to at least show that you want the job, because it's not an easy job. As Mike Schilt has shown us, it takes a lot out of you. And you have to have the desire. You can't go in and, hey, this was fun for a couple of months, but this is a lot more work than I thought it was going to be. You don't want to be stuck with the manager who realizes 2 months into his tenure, this is more than I bargained for. I've bit off more than I can chew here.
Well, and that's the thing that maybe scares me a little bit when you have such a Hall of Fame resume and career that Albert Pujols did. You've done that grind so many times. So, okay, but you're used to it. You're used to 162 and the grind that it takes. But I think it's way different for a player than it is a manager. There's constant media. There's constant scrutiny. There's
less physical grind, more mental grind.
Yeah,
for a manager.
No doubt. I just don't know. I don't know. But I do know that he's got relationships with guys on the team. He's well respected across baseball, certainly. So those are points in his favor. But man, managing, when you throw at me, Woodsy, will he manage the Dominican team? I'm like, that's a couple of weeks of managing, a lot of all-stars. This is completely different. You're managing a bullpen. You're managing guys you don't know. I'm not saying there's a right answer or a wrong answer. There's names that are getting thrown around like crazy. Don Mattingly is a name. He's done it. He's managed. He didn't do a very great job at it, but he's done it. He knows what the grind entails. Not saying that Albert doesn't or can't. I just don't know. I do know one thing, and it's very simplistic. You got to get this one right, guys. This one's got to be right. It just has to work. It's got to be the right manager.
I mean, does it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
I still
we
haven't decided.
said that 4 times.
I think Mike Schilt was the right manager. I think they got the last one right. You also have to get the guy right who's going to stick around.
That's the thing.
For more than 2 years.
Yeah, the guy that's not going to be is Albert Pujols going to sit in our dugout and go, St. Louis though. Ozzy, they're over Ollie Marmol. I mean, doesn't this make more sense to me? Managing in St. Louis with a place that I'm already beloved. Doesn't that? I mean, are we going to run the risk of somebody wistfully looking
Bob
across?
Melvin seeing his dream job in San Francisco?
Are we going to run the risk of him sitting in the visitors' dugout at New Busch? It's 114 on the field. There's 75 people in the stands, and he goes, I could bring this organization back. Is that something we need to worry about? I don't know. I'm just saying we are traumatized here. We're traumatized by one manager saying, my mental health, I can't handle it. And the guy before him saying, my dream job is across the street. I don't know about you guys. I'll speak for myself. I'm traumatized by it. That's why when I say it's got to be the right guy, I don't mean the right name. I don't mean the right resume. I mean the right human that says enough is enough. It's time to take this team of those talented guys to the promised land, or at least close to it. I mean, we can live with winning a division, winning a pennant, but ultimately the goal is a championship. And ultimately the guy is invested 1,000% to take this much maligned franchise to the promised land. That's what we're asking for. Commitment. And I'm not saying Albert doesn't have it. I'm not saying that Don Mattingly doesn't have it. I'm not saying that Carlos Beltran doesn't have it. But it's got to be right. That's why I say it needs to be right, Paulie, not because, I
don't disagree.
There
with
won't
you.
be another one. There will be. I promise you guys this. There'll be another manager in the next 10 years. That I can promise you. Okay? So, but in this era of Padres baseball, it's got to be the right pick.
We will talk more baseball, Padres, and World Series coming up in our 7 o'clock hour. That is just about 20 minutes away, as we are now tied 1 game apiece, heading to L.A. for Game 3 tonight. My pick's already wrong. Dodgers in a sweep was wrong after
Dodgers
the first
5.
That's
I'm good. I'm
that's
alive.
still alive.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the series. We'll talk more about the Padres. We'll have our Padres Smörgåsbord coming up in our 7 o'clock hour. At 8:35, Craig Elsten, our friend, will join us from the Padres Hot Tub Podcast, Chromaniacs. He was at the game and all his regalia last night. And we'll talk more SDFC. We're also going to get to that coming up momentarily. And our regular features here on a Monday. Don't do this at 7:20. Take on Woods at 8:20. Still have those Jerry Seinfeld Las Vegas trip tickets to give away in our Reindl Report in our 9 o'clock hour. We also will be giving away before the end of the program a 4-pack of tickets to Snow Jam at the Del Mar Fairgrounds, plus a $100 gift card. And that's good for all 3 days of Snow Jam. San Diego's a massive ski and snowboard expo that's coming up in just about a week and a half. So
maybe
that's
Hannah and the kids can meet
you
up with any other single dads.
Maybe
and the kids.
it's a great family outing for some people.
So we'll get to all of that coming up, but we'll start with the playoff win last night at Snapdragon Stadium. We'll get to that right after a check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by Robert Half. Looking pretty good on our roads at this time. Just one thing to watch out for, southbound 5 before Carmel Mountain Road. There is a stalled car in the center divide, very narrow center divide, so please take it extra carefully. Move over a lane if it's safe to do so. That's southbound 5, right before Carmel Mountain. At Robert Half, they found that 67% of companies want to increase contract talent. That's why the recruiters' expertise and award-winning AI work quickly to find the candidates you want. At Robert Half, they know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
And this hour on the Fan brought to you by Toyota of Poway, voted San Diego's #1 Toyota dealer by USA Today. With APRs as low as 0%, tons of new Toyotas on the ground. No tricks, only treats during the Trucktober sales event happening now, only at Toyota of Poway or online at toyotaofpoway.com in the heart of San Diego. So one thing we did miss a little bit, on the last day that you were here last Tuesday, we interviewed Mikey Varas.
Yes.
You asked him about Chucky Lozano's status for the game. He deflected, kind of said we're handling an internal matter. We found out later in the week as Chucky posted an apology on Instagram for what apparently was a locker room blowout after he was taken out of the game by Varas. Apparently lost his cool and his temper, got mad about getting substituted out for Amal Pellegrino, who's been very good
Great.
Since being acquired by SDFC. Don't know exactly what he did, but it required an apology to teammates, to fans, and required him to sit out the last 2 games, the final game of the regular season, and now the first playoff game for SDFC. Their highest paid player, one of the highest paid players in the league, did not participate last night at Snapdragon Stadium, which is pretty bold choice by, a head coach of an expansion team going, we can do this without you, proving his point. But then after the game, Mikey Varas did say, Chucky has done everything he's needed to do, and we do expect him to return. If there's nothing else happens this week, we expect him to return for game 2 of the series on Saturday in Portland.
It's funny because I saw different reactions to this. My assumption was this. If you know Mikey Varas at all and have followed this team at all, this couldn't have been a surprise to you at all. Because you can tell that this dude runs a really tight ship. And what is the most important thing to him? Culture. The culture of SDFC. It's the first thing they said when they wanted to do this team, and Mikey Varas was the guy to build that culture. And when you come in and you're a culture problem, he's going to be handled a certain way. And he was. Now, then I saw people saying, you can't suspend your best player for a playoff game. You sit him the last regular season game. This is an inexperienced coach, on a power trip. And I thought to myself, I thought that was one we could all be in lockstep with. But in the year 2025, name one thing we're all in lockstep with. There's nothing, especially when it comes to debating about sports. I thought it was beyond a power move. And you go out and you win the game anyway without Chucky Lozano. I thought it was great. And again, like nobody's bigger than the team, even Chucky Lozano. I thought it made perfect sense.
Well, clearly they played one of their best games of the season without him to close out the year in Portland with a 4-0 win.
And now 2 of their best games of the season.
What worried me is in the MLS Cup playoffs, if you end up tied, if Portland had found a way to sneak in one of those goals,
and they damn near did.
They had some chances in the second half. You go to penalty kicks.
Yeah.
You kind of want Chucky Lozano in the game for penalty kicks because that's the guy who takes them for you generally when you have that opportunity. You want him as one of your 5
for sure
penalty kick opportunities. If he's not dressed, he's not out there. He's not taking one of your penalty kicks. That could literally be the difference between a win and a loss.
But that's
if it comes down to one of those games.
But that's losing the battle to win the war, in my opinion. And it's hard. It's really, really hard for a manager, a coach to do. It just is. And, you don't see it much at the pro level anymore, guys. Usually it's, oh, no, he's going to continue to pitch for us while the league investigates. Or he's in the lineup until the league says, very rarely, Ben. When's the last time it happened? When's the last time a manager said, my star player is not playing tonight because I didn't like his attitude and he flipped out? Yeah,
old school approach.
I understand it's the playoffs. I understand if we get to a shootout, we need him. We're not going to have him.
We talked last week a little bit about Bobby Cox yanking Andrew Jones out of a game.
It was unbelievable.
It's been a while since we've seen something like that.
It was the most unbelievable video, and I had forgotten all about it. But son of a gun, if he didn't pull him off the field in the middle of an inning and sent Gerald Williams out there and goes, hey, man, I'm coming out. He goes, me? And then he runs to the dugout, and then he just proceeds to get chewed out in the middle of an inning. That stuff doesn't happen anymore in pro sports. I'm gonna credit Mikey Varas for having the temerity to say nobody's bigger than the team. It's we before me, and really sticking to his guns there.
Well, his club certainly responded again in the first 30 minutes, dominating the run of play and then culminating with a pair of goals and a 2-0 lead early in the game. That made it 6-0 SDFC over Portland over the course of 2 hours of football.
Yeah.
And you thought, well, if this is how it's going to go, this is going to be the easiest opening round series ever. They're going to win 6-0 today, go up and win again and just be a clean sweep. Was not nearly that easy as Portland got one back on a kind of a turnover steal counterattack style before the half, and it was 2-1 going into the locker room. And that's where it stayed the whole second half. SDFC had a couple of chances. Portland absolutely had a couple of chances that your heart was like in your throat. Going,
they're like one-on-one.
They're about to tie this thing up.
Oh, yeah.
And they did not capitalize on a couple of chances that they were gifted, that they got from the bounce of the ball. And SDFC was able to hold on for the 2-1 win to take a 1-0 series lead. They now just need to win one of the next two games. The first one will be in Portland this Saturday. If necessary, the following weekend, they will come back to Snapdragon Stadium for Game 3. But it's good to see SDFC winning at home. Have not done that much. It was only their second home win since like July because they've been such a good road team, but have not been winning as much as home. And the atmosphere, Paulie playing it in the YouTube stream, was electric last night. Electric at Snapdragon Stadium.
It's pure joy. It's pure joy. It looks like the Oasis concert I was at in England. I mean, it's the smoke flares and people just throwing water, dancing around, having a great time. It was awesome. It was awesome. It was, listen, my frame of reference for soccer is 7-year-olds. It's much more enjoyable to watch these guys move the ball around the way that they do it. It's pretty incredible. And I did you get a sense, Ben, and again, me knowing less than nothing, you saw how they attacked in the first, and you're like, it should have legitimately, there was a chance for it to be 4-0 after about 12 minutes and just run away with it. And, credit to them. They made some stops, and then they made some adjustments at halftime, and then they were on the attack. Did you see anything where you went, oh, we've kind of changed the way that we're playing a little bit, playing a little tight or scared or anything like that?
Just in my, layperson soccer analysis, I would certainly think Portland is going to come out with a different strategy the second game.
Of course.
More pressing. They're not going to let SDFC just control the ball and tempo the way they did in the first half. They were much better off when they were pressing a little bit further. Yep. They did give up a couple of chances off that, which is, you've got to take advantage. SDFC didn't take advantage in the second half. They didn't score on any of those opportunities. And Portland got many more chances by being a little bit more aggressive defensively, getting into those passing lanes that SDFC just looked so sharp in the first half. And they looked a little sloppier in the second half on those. Like they were just holding on, watching that clock, like tick, tick, tight, tick, tick, tick. Can we get to 90? Can we get to 90? Can we get to 90? Worked out in the end to get the win, but I would imagine it'll be a different scenario, different strategies in place, because this will be the third straight time they've played each other.
Crazy, dude.
After finishing the regular season, potentially with a fourth straight time if they need so. Coming up in Game 3.
Dos Santos was awesome, just incredible. Made some huge saves. Anders Dreyer is unreal. Just watching him play is unreal. He's an unreal soccer player. We had a great time. We watched it as a family last night before the kids went to bed, and I watched every single second. It was pretty electric stuff. So congrats to SDFC.
Good to see the Padres represented as well, with part owner Manny Machado handling the pregame flow with the ball, the ceremony. Ramon Laureano was there in the box with him. Jackson Merrill created a little stir. He put him up on the big screen and he chugged a margarita, it looked like, during the game.
Who chugs a margarita,
I don't
by
know.
the way? 21-year-old.
That's it.
You're right. You learn, Paulie. At 50, you're like, I would just have been tiny little sip and hold it up. I'm not trying to get brain freeze like a madman.
I think if anything, you just dump it on your head.
On your head, yeah.
But everybody still goes nuts.
To take a margarita to the dome fast it's an amateur move, man. It's actually that's a rookie move. So good.
Plus, he was at a wedding like over the weekend as well with friends. So I'm sure, Jackson's probably sleeping in this morning, I would think, after everything that went on.
I would imagine.
But yeah, great job by SDFC getting their first playoff win in franchise history. This season has been something special and memorable and way more than I think any of us could have possibly hoped for or expected. When we first found out we were getting an MLS team, it was like 2 years ago that we found out we were getting a team, and now here they are. 1 win away from the quarterfinals and 4 wins away from a potential championship. Like, they could win the championship this year the way they're playing, and that's absolutely stunning.
Sorry, I'm responding to people in the chat.
That's all right. We are at the end of the first hour. We will come back, and we will shift our focus to baseball, including games 1 and 2 of the World Series. A split in Toronto, heading back to Los Angeles for game 3 tonight at 5 o'clock at Dodger Stadium. Our thoughts on the World Series and more. Don't do this as well. Coming up in hour number 2 of Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Padres fans, did you enjoy the 6th inning on Friday night?
I did, and that was great.
As the Toronto Blue Jays took Blake Snell and the Dodgers bullpen to the woodshed with their 9-run inning en route to an 11-4 win in Game 1 of the World Series on Friday night. Of course, Addison Barger with the first pinch hit grand slam in World Series history off Anthony Banda. Alejandro Kirk with a 2-run home run to cap that inning. Before that, it was pretty low scoring, exciting game. Dodgers took a 2-0 lead, and then Dalton Varsho tied it with the 2-run home run off Blake Snell, he wasn't as sharp as he was back in the NLCS for sure.
No.
His command was not as good as it was in previous postseason starts.
You know, he is a guy that relies on getting a lot of chase. And the Blue Jays are not a team that chases. So that little chess match in and of itself is like, oh man, if I leave the changeup up, they're gonna hit it. And they did. If I can't get them to swing at that, slider that he bounces in the dirt, that you as we as layman casual fans, how many times did we say when we were watching him pitch, just lay off that, just don't swing at that pitch? Why does everybody swing at that pitch in the dirt? Because it looks like a strike 95% of the way there, and then it just dies because he's got really good stuff. But the Blue Jays do not chase, and when they hit a mistake, they punish mistakes. So they're really kind of an elite performing team in that respect. But yeah, if he doesn't get chased, Ben, he's going to be not a pedestrian pitcher, but he's
still good.
He's still good.
He just wasn't.
They grind that first inning, 29 pitches or whatever. That was vintage Blake Snell as far as Padres fans are concerned. And he did look for the first time in a month, he looked a little bit rattled, just couldn't put him away. But Savage was awesome too.
He gave up the 2 runs, but got through the 4 innings. And then because of the Giants 6, they were able to use the back end of their bullpen. We saw Eric Lauer in the game at the end. And unfortunately, though, I think the Blue Jays really had an opportunity then going into Game 2. They had gotten into that Dodgers bullpen. They had hit it around hard. They needed to get to Yoshinobu Yamamoto and get him out of the game. And boy, in the first couple of innings, it looked like they might. Remember, first 2 guys reached. It was first and third. Nobody out in the bottom of the first inning. And you had a sense for a moment that, okay, the Blue Jays might actually do this thing. But Yamamoto got out of that first inning jam, got through the first 2 innings, had like 46 pitches or something. Thought, well, at least they're going to get back to that Dodgers bullpen.
No.
And then they did nothing the rest of the game. Nothing, literally nothing.
He set down 20 in a row.
To end the game.
20 straight batters came up. 20 straight batters went down. He's outstanding. He might be, as I quickly access every starting pitcher I've ever watched in my life, he's in the top 10. Maybe top 5. He is so dominant, and he's got 6 pitches that he throws to every quadrant. He can throw his sweeper to out and away and up. He can throw it down and away. He can throw it up and in.
Going 97 to 78 on the changeup.
6. They said there was one 98 mile an hour heater and a 64 mile an hour curveball. Good luck. Good luck. They showed where there was some graphic that showed, this is when the fastball gets on you. They both start here. And this is where the fastball is. And then before that curveball starts to break, this is where it is. And it's a difference of like 30 feet and 30 miles an hour. Good luck, guys. Like you're up there guessing every single time. He's unbelievable. I mean, you can't watch him pitch and go, all right, I'm not impressed. Very impressed with what that dude does.
You heard a number of times the Padres brought up in that, hey, yeah, Yamamoto struggled in his first start.
Yeah.
Padres got to him in that game, but since then, last year's playoffs, he was their best starter after that. And then, of course, this year, 2 straight complete games in the postseason in the year 2025 is nuts.
It's insane.
It's absolutely nuts. And by the way, Kevin Gausman was very good. He retired 17 straight at one point until Will Smith's tie-breaking home run in the 7th inning. It was a really good game. The Blue Jays had their chances, but they just could do nothing against Yamamoto, and the Dodgers did what they needed to do in that game, and that is get the series back to L.A., even at a game apiece, taking home field advantage. And, of course, as you get deeper into each team's rotation, the Dodgers' advantage grows. With Glass now with Ohtani in games 3 and 4. They're going to go with Max Scherzer tonight in game 3. That could work. It could also backfire tremendously on the Toronto Blue Jays. They're taking a much bigger chance tonight than the Dodgers are with their starting pitcher.
You feel like you caught a little bit of lightning in a bottle with Max that last start out. I mean, you heard it all. Oh, we're turning back the clock tonight. I mean, are the Dodgers a team you can really turn the clock back against? They're so good. They're disciplined. The top can get you. And the top, Ohtani hasn't done much in the series. He had that RBI single. He had a homer. Yeah, he had a homer.
Hit the home run, but it was 11-2.
11-2 home run. But, they're not crushing you. It's the Will Smiths. It's the Max Muncies. It's those guys that always seem to come through for the Dodgers in the postseason. There's just no let up. So I don't know, man. I'm not super confident if I'm a Blue Jays fan tonight with Scherzer on the bump, especially against Tyler Glasnow. Now, again, decent matchup, I think, for the Blue Jays. Glasnow's around the plate. They punish mistakes. If he can mix it up, maybe pitch backwards a little bit, he could get them back on their heels. But I don't know, man. It feels again that win from the Dodgers yesterday was the one that they needed, and they'll have Yamamoto in Game 6. If it gets to Game 6, it's tough sledding, man.
Yeah, it is. The interesting game will be now Game 5 when presumably Blake Snell's turn will come back in the rotation. Can they do that again to Blake Snell? Will Blake Snell be able to make adjustments? The Blue Jays need to win at least one of these 3 to get it back to Toronto. And even if they do that, as you said, they'll still have to face Yamamoto in Game 6, who's been so good, especially on the road, every postseason game. I mean, you're certainly happy if you get it back to Toronto. You did that in the ALCS. You got it back down 3-2. You won your last 2 games. You'll won it all. You'll be on your home field. Game 6 and 7 can get kind of crazy because it's baseball. Anything can happen. But you have to find a way to win at least one of these 3 in Los Angeles to get the series back. And the bats explode like they did. They really had one good offensive inning in the whole series. It was great. It was an unbelievable inning. But outside of that, the other 17 have been pretty quiet for the Toronto Blue Jays offensively. That's not going to get it done in Los Angeles over the next 3 games.
And I saw a lot of people talking about this guy. Did you guys see the articles about David Popkins? Is a name that I had briefly heard at the beginning of the year. My friend that I played ball with, Brendan Walsh, texted me, and he said, hey, San Diego kid gets the gig in Toronto as their new hitting coach. And I said, oh, cool. I didn't think much about it. I thought to myself, he'll have some tools to work with. Vlad Guerrero, Bo Bichette, guys like that. They're good players there. Apparently this guy, Benny, is the new hot guy. And you see this every year, right? Teams make the World Series, but they have spent so much money. I think they said $90 million or something to that effect on redoing all of their hitting labs and analytics. And they got a couple driveline guys in there, the driveline hitting philosophy. And look at them now. And this guy Popkins is a really interesting dude, really, really interesting dude. And he has reworked the entire offense of the Toronto Blue Jays in a year. Was texting with Walshy yesterday. He's like, hey, end of the year, let's try to get him on Ben and Woods. I said, I'd love to get him on. I'd love to talk to him because it's so hard to cut through the noise when it comes to hitting and philosophies of hitting. And what he's done, though, is proven to work, at least for this year, for these guys. You read this stuff and you go, oh, man. Like Dalton Varsho had a comment. He said, it used to take the Blue Jays, like the previous regime, would take them like a month. If I was going poorly, to get me back on track where I felt comfortable, it takes Popkins 2 days. It gets me dialed back in, and I'm back driving the baseball. So you read it, and it does give you a little bit of a sense of, oh, man, we're still so far behind, and
yes and no. I don't know. In terms, we talked about it last week. The Padres and the Blue Jays are the most similar offensive philosophical teams in terms of making contact, driving the ball. The Blue Jays just did a much better job of adding the power and the slug to it that the Padres were missing this year. But philosophically, the Padres are already trying to go down that same path. So they're ahead of the curve in that way.
Not necessarily, because one of the things that was one of the worst parts about the Blue Jays game last year was pulled home runs. That was the worst. They were like 28th or something. They went from 155 pulled home runs to 186. That's the equivalent of adding a 31 home run a year guy to their team. Has every expert, and again, I know nothing about hitting at the big league level, zero. What is every expert told us? These guys got to pull the baseball. What is their philosophy? We got to go oppo. We got to find the gaps at Petco Park. No. You have to pull the baseball to hit a lot of home runs. Our philosophy stopped trying to pull the ball. We got rid of guys that would actually pull the baseball out of the yard. The Blue Jays embraced it. They went for it. And like I said, added 31, basically an invisible 31 home run a year.
And the Padres did the opposite. They had hit 190 home runs, and they pretty much lost 31 or more home runs, and they did not pull the ball as much. Again, some of it was, losing a guy like Kyle Higashioka, who pulled, I think, every single one of his 18 home runs or whatever he hit for the San Diego Padres. They're going to need to find that pull home run power again next year.
Yes, big time.
To be successful.
This is so fascinating. I could talk about this stuff all day, so forgive me. Because as I try to learn more about hitting and teaching hitting and things like that, Ernie Clement says, who was, by the way, like a journeyman player. Now he's starting every day. He was a glove first guy. He's starting. Now he's hitting the baseball. He says it goes back to intent. We're not letting them get us out on a pitcher's pitch in the first couple of pitches. If I get out on a fastball down the middle on the first pitch, I'm okay with that. That's my intent. But if I ground out on a pitch that's 2 balls off the plate outside, that's not doing anybody any good. We have a good understanding of the zone. We're a bunch of grinders grinding out long at bats, really making starting pitchers work. They did that to Yamamoto early, and then that went away. I think Yamamoto started saying, here's my best, hit it, and he was getting those first pitch outs. And the 1, 2, 3 innings just started to stack up for him the later the game went, because you start to press. You start to press, and that's the Blue Jays kind of went outside of their philosophy for a little bit, but that's the chess match that is baseball, especially in 2025.
One thing I'd like to ask AJ Preller or anybody else in the Padres organization, we know that technologically they're as advanced as it gets on the pitching side.
On the pitching side, yes,
with the lab, the PLNU. Biomechanics lab that they've opened, they're cutting edge, they're state of the art. Hitting wise, I don't really know the answer. They could be ahead of the curve, behind the curve, right in the middle of the curve. I don't really know as much in terms of where they are technologically on the hitting side. We know, as you said, Woods, the Blue Jays have jumped to near the top of the pack when it comes to the latest and greatest on hitting technology options that are out there.
And guess who's always been at the top? The team that they're playing in the World Series right now. They've always been there, always looking for the edge, willing to spend
their investment
on the edge.
Doesn't just go into payroll; it goes into everything.
Which is kind of you wonder at this point, it doesn't make sense to chase every little thing, right? But I would say, as it pertains to hitting and things like that, I would say that that's probably one that you want to invest some money in if you can do it, which I think they can. Why not be at the forefront of that, or at least close to the forefront of that every single year?
Now, Chris says hitters have access to the same analytics at the biomechanics lab. They certainly, the biomechanically for sure, but there are other machines and everything that have been developed.
And philosophies as well. The philosophy of, as I just mentioned, hey, we're going to go gap to gap. They're going to pull the baseball out of the yard, and it's added a bunch of home runs to their team. And they're a really, really good offense. And but again, you saw it, good pitching, great pitching, as Yamamoto had, beats a good offense most nights.
Major sports story while we were gone, of course, the double-barreled investigation into the NBA.
Real quick, just because we were talking Dodgers, there was another piece of news that dropped over the weekend while we were off, when the rosters came out for the Dodgers. Very sad and scary stuff with Alex Vesia, who I know a lot of people probably know him or his family. Yeah. He's a local kid. Didn't see any updates, don't know what's happened, but he stepped away from the team to deal with a personal issue. And it was very quickly pointed out that his wife was pretty close to the birth of their baby. So I don't know what happened. That was the speculation that she was very active on social media throughout that whole process. And my heart broke personally when I heard
Yeah,
that
it was
story.
really sad. I mean, again, I don't know what happened exactly.
We don't know.
But
We have
it's
no
not,
idea.
It's not great if you have to step away in the middle of the World Series.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a local kid too. So, listen, man, hope that there's nothing, again, hate to speculate because I don't know, but what I saw was,
I think everybody's brain turned to the worst.
Yeah, of course.
And it was,
of course, that's sad. Super
All right,
sad.
we will come back, though. Don't Do This is coming up next, and then we'll get into our Padres Smorgasbord later this hour. Don't go away. More Bennett Woods on the way on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. GEGE 000-466. For a full list of games and rules, play at 7 Mile Casino. Visit 7milecasino.com.
So I was in Las Vegas. I didn't get a chance to play much, but I went once to the card room. There was a wait. It was smoky. I didn't even end up sitting down. It's just not. It's not
really?
7 Mile Casino. I know. It's like I don't like the atmosphere as much as I do at 7 Mile Casino. It's just the best. I'm spoiled now, Woods. I'm spoiled by our favorite card room in San Diego.
Yeah, the best part too. Again, I drove out to I saw 70 Mile Casino way out there on the drive, and it was definitely not going to pull over and pull into one of those giant parking lots and take the long trek. This one's so easy. It's right off the 5, just 7 minutes from downtown. Got all the food and drink that you're looking for. And they got, of course, California-style blackjack, Pai Gow, Baccarat, and, of course, Texas Hold'em.
If you're looking for high-limit action, they take good care of their players. They're spreading, high-limit games on Texas Hold'em. If you want to sit down, you're a serious player. They've got good dealers, good shuffle machines. It's a nice place, comfortable chairs, great atmosphere. If you're just going for a good time, though, the bar area, the patio area, both fantastic. So many great reasons. Check it out today, 7 Mile Casino, just 7 minutes from downtown.
Hey player, this is all yours. The spa with this. Ah. and this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Padres Smörgåsbord coming up at the bottom of the hour. First, though, don't do this. Brought to you by Trust and Will.
Don't.
Leave your entire estate, house, kids, and life savings up to chance if and when you die.
Do.
Set up a Trust or Will online at trustandwill.com.
This
is a lot more affordable than you think. Visit trustandwill.com for more info, and we will get to the basketball scandal we missed last week in a moment. First, though, since we're talking about baseball, Woods, I'll let you lead us off.
It's weird that you wanted me to do this story. Of all people, I have nothing but the utmost respect for Doc Roberts, San Diego native. But here's his latest. This actually, I had to check it, triple check it, to verify that he actually did say this as a grown adult human man. And he did, actually. He was asked about the trip back to L.A. from Toronto. Dave Roberts said this, quote, "I don't want to get too far into it. I just arrived 30 minutes ago. So there were some delays. I don't know if there was intent or not. But man, the international stuff was a bear, but we made it. We made it." Why does he sound like Captain Sully Sullenberger after landing?
Intent.
The intent. Every playoff, he needs to find some sort of edge to be. Can you believe that the, people at the Los Angeles airport wouldn't want the Dodgers to get back in on time?
Right.
I
You
can't
don't
believe
go through customs leaving. You go
Correct.
through them coming back into
to
the country.
To your own country. I don't know if there was intent or not. Dave, there wasn't. It's just travel sucks sometimes, especially international travel.
Am I led to believe that he's thinking maybe somebody in Toronto had any sort of control over what happened at LAX?
I think that's what he's saying. I don't know if there was intent or not. There wasn't. The whole world's not out to get you, bud.
I don't know.
You've
Maybe
got a $700 billion payroll.
It really
You're
is
good.
them against the world, isn't it?
No, it's him against the world. He just makes up stories every year to fit some narrative that everyone's out to get him. If you listen to the broadcast, the whole thing is one big slurp fest because you even have your You have your broadcaster calling the games. Joe Davis giving me the oral history of the LA Dodgers during the game. It was insane. It was insane. The whole thing is one big slurp fest. And now he thinks that they're trying to stop him from getting home in the LA airport, by the way. Some guy tweeted, "My thoughts and prayers are with Dave Roberts and the Los Angeles Dodgers. I can't even imagine what it's like to go through customs. It sucks. I had to do it, but you wear it. That's what you do. You're going to be fine. Trust me. You got a great team. You got to pull this crap every single. Did one of the TSA guys throw a bag at him? You know, something like what story is he going to make up this year? Here it is.
Now, it worked for him last year.
Sure
so
did.
I guess you're going with the old, I better do it again because it worked last year.
Muncie going to run out there and be like, this one's for Dave. Don't you ever hold up our manager at customs. Here in Los Angeles, by the way, is where it happened. But, man, what a drives me nuts.
I don't want to get too far into it. I just arrived about 30 minutes ago. So there were some delays. I don't know if there was intent or not, but it just, man, the international stuff was a bear.
I don't know if there was intent.
Just in case you didn't believe the quotes.
Correct.
That's him actually saying those words.
Our beloved Darnay Tripp tweeted, Rosenthal, the devious delay and the troubles of international travel. That will be the article that drops today in The Athletic. Holy cow, man. The Blue Jays do this all the time. All the time.
Every single road trip, they got to go through it.
It's unbelievable. He's unbelievable.
I think Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is down there like putting their bags on the wrong plane.
Yeah. Hey, let's play some psychological warfare.
No, if I'm running like the runway in Toronto and the Dodgers playing,
if you're running it,
might be sixth in order to leave
maybe.
instead of third.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Sure. Sometimes it just works that
few
way.
minutes. You can delay them a little bit.
Man,
all right, the one thing we did miss in our couple of days off at the end of last week was the giant breaking news: 31 federal indictments linking the NBA to a gambling scandal, an illegal poker game scandal, and the mafia all together.
No big deal.
No, it's not good. It's not good news at all for the NBA. The biggest name, of course, involved in all of it is Chauncey Billups,
was the head coach, right,
of the Portland
Trailblazers. Currently
head coach of the Portland Trailblazers. He's not accused of fixing any games, but he is accused of participating in illegal poker games that were rigged by the mafia. So they would bring in, the whales who wanted to play with celebrities like Chauncey Billups, but they had sophisticated cameras on the tables, x-ray tables, like special lenses in their glasses and contacts so they could see marked cards and they would know who's going to win the hand. The shuffle machine would tell someone outside of the game who's going to win the hand, who has the best cards, which cards are coming up, so they'd know.
That's insane.
So if the big whale has got the best hand, it's like, all right, we're folding. And if you've got the best hand, you keep them going as long as possible so they could squeeze as much money out of these, victims as possible in this illegal poker game, which is obviously you don't want any of your players or coaches involved in the mafia, even if it's not anything involving basketball. You don't want them tied in with the mafia because once you're in, well, then you're in. And they say, well, okay, now we need you to do this with your NBA game. But there was also the second part, kind of related but unrelated, of the basketball part of it, which involved Terry Rozier and pulling himself out of a game to make sure that he did not hit his prop bets so people could bet on him and the under in prop bets. That is something that, of course, is equally or even more concerning to the NBA, that, players would do this, that they would, make sure that they had bad games. So gamblers who were tipped off could then win money on those bets. And it is turned into a huge, massive story over the weekend. What's your thoughts?
Well, I'm just glad I was on the right side of history and being so anti-NBA. I would never associate myself with such a league.
One thing I don't understand is
what's your favorite sport?
Baseball.
Oh,
there's I don't think there's any amount of gambling.
That was the interpreter, Paulie. Everybody knows that. Shohei was a victim.
I don't think there's any amount
of
gambling that could ever make it. There's so much money for NBA players. Like Rozier makes over $21 million. You're never going to make nearly that much.
I think it's
gambling.
The juice, man. I think it's the chase. It's the. I think that's what gambling is all about. I think it's the chase, the juice of gambling, I think, is what it is.
Keep seeing ads for that app, Kalshi. I don't know. I never opened it, haven't used it, where you can like bet on the stupidest things, like real life things, and they're like, oh yeah, it's open trading all 50 states, and I just go, we are screwing the next generations to come.
Yeah,
like everyone's gonna have a gambling addiction the way things are going.
One of the odd things though about this story, you know who the FBI considers the victims in this, other than not in the poker game, but in the betting, it's the sports books who are actually the victims in this case. The casinos who are losing the money to the bettors in this case are considered the actual victims.
I feel terrible for those guys.
Which is weird.
What is MGM gonna do?
I know, which is a weird element to this story. You know, they're bilking the sports books, not any other players or anything when it comes to the gambling portion of it. I still do believe that this was always going on to a certain extent.
Oh, big time, dude.
The proliferation of sports gambling has actually made it easier to catch people who are doing this, because you can immediately flag unusual bets and high margins on something like why would so many people be betting on Terry Rozier in a meaningless late season game to go under 6.5 rebounds.
Right.
That's weird, and they flagged these things, and it actually has allowed I think a little more investigation and to stay ahead of some of it, but it's certainly exposing something that I think has always been an issue in sports, and now it's coming really to the forefront. And I don't know what they're going to do about it.
I really
don't know what they're going to do.
They're talking about potentially getting rid of prop bets for players, but I don't see that happening, to be honest with you. It's such a gazillion-dollar industry.
Oh, it'll still happen.
It's still going to happen. Yeah, it's very, very strange. Let's get to some funny audio here and do this.
DD mega doo-doo.
You can like Terry Bradshaw, you can hate Terry Bradshaw, but one thing Terry Bradshaw is always good for, he gets his co-hosts, Ben, to look at him like he's a crazy person on multiple occasions. And it was no exception yesterday. He was sitting with Strahan and Howie Long, and he was doing his shtick. And apparently he sent a text to, well, he thought it was Andy Reid. It was not.
But the thing that I would worry about more so in Washington is the other day I text Andy Reid, and I got a text back, and I thought it was Andy Reid, but it's some guy selling pigs. But it sounded good. I should have told y'all that, so y'all would have thought I actually talked to Andy Reid, but I didn't really talk to Andy Reid.
I wish you could see the people behind the cameras, because they're like.
He texted his pig dealer, he says pig, like his pigs. He buys pigs for his farms and stuff. And I meant to text Andy Reid, but it's my guy that.
And I thought it was Andy Reid.
It wasn't.
But it's some guy selling pigs.
It's my guy that sells me pigs.
It makes it sound illegal the way he talks about it.
Like, I got a guy.
I got a guy who sells me some pigs on the street corner.
Hey, do either of you guys have a pig? So I need some. I
got a big weekend.
I need one. Come on. I'm going to the tournament with my buddies. Paulie, can we get your pig guy? Please. Just one. That's all I need is a pig guy. Howie Long's face was like, am I looking at an alien right now?
How many ounces of pig is he buying?
I need a big one.
Loose pig?
Loose pig, yeah, loose.
But it's some guy selling pigs.
Some guy selling pigs instead of Andy Reid.
Just some guy.
I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. That's Don't and Do to This for a Monday.
That was Don't Do This with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
Getting some text from Adam. I wanted to clarify just on the Chauncey Billups, there is some thought that he was also tipping off people about who was going to play in a lineup.
The old injury bit.
So, yeah, who's going to sit. It is also the NBA against their rules to give any information out to non-essential
to
personnel.
The mafia.
To the mafia or any gamblers before that becomes public information, which is a no-no as well. And his description is part of the indictments that possibly the Chauncey Billups was tipping off people, at least, that, we're sitting so-and-so and so-and-so tonight.
20 years he's looking down the barrel of now. 20. The guy was a head coach 10 days ago. Now he's in federal lockup.
His lawyers are denying it. We'll see how long it takes to play out.
Wow.
Just wait for all the other names to start.
I know.
I saw Kevin Garnett's name was in there. Antonio Gates
I saw.
And Damon Jones, who's the other coach, the assistant coach who's involved, really good friends with LeBron James. They've already issued a statement, had no idea he was into gambling, of course, but you do wonder how deep and how far it's going to go. And again, my big question is, You say it's the juice. You're risking so much to win so little compared to what you have on the line.
It's the only explanation.
Like
it's the thrill
betting,
of gambling.
I'm betting my multi-million-dollar salary, my Hall of Fame reputation to win another, I don't know, $5,000. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
It's
but
taking $20,000 and turning it into
But again,
$200,000.
I mean, you watch The Sopranos, right? You watch The Sopranos.
Yeah.
Guy goes in, sits at a poker game, ends up losing $250,000, which he can't stroke a check for right away. They're going to juice him to death. It's going to end up being about $500,000. So they say, hey, instead of giving us the money, work for us. Work for us. Go out. Let me know who's playing tonight. Let me know who's injured. Tell Rozier to pull himself out of the game because of injury.
This game doesn't mean anything
Yeah,
anyway.
100%.
We're going to still try to win.
We'll try to win.
I'm just
but
going to let them know beforehand that these guys can't play.
That's
They weren't
exactly
gonna play
right.
anyway. Yeah, you can kind of justify just about anything to yourself.
Somebody said in the chat, The Sopranos was a documentary. It actually was. It actually was. That stuff happens all the time, apparently. So just a story that's not going to go away anytime soon.
All right, when we come back, Padres Smörgåsbord, you missed, I thought, a very spicy conversation last Wednesday about potential trade chips that are currently on the Padres roster.
Nobody likes it.
And I want
more.
to get Woods' thoughts on what we talked
had
about.
His pants off that whole segment last week.
Pantsless
Like,
Ben.
all
I
right,
missed
who we
it.
trading this time?
Here we
So
go.
we will revisit that for a few minutes and continue to talk about the Padres managerial search and more, all coming up next on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Well, it's certainly good to be back from Arizona. I love San Diego so much more, and I had to drink some really bad bottled water when I was out there. Don't feel bad for me, though, because I got to come back my Eco water, my jug, and my delicious, perfect water that we have in our home. And we got it. It's the best, most practical upgrade we've made for our family in years. Coming up on my 3-year Eco water anniversary. And very happy that we have it. They also have the best technology as far as the water delivery, right? The first with remote monitoring, the first with Wi-Fi and leak detection. They also have the automatic cutoffs that can stop a leak before it becomes a disaster. That's not just innovation. It's protection you can see and control. And, of course, the most advanced technology in water treatment for your family and business. So the hard water can absolutely wreck your pipes, wreck everything in your home. You don't want to be drinking the hard water either. Trust me. They've been doing this since 1925. They patented the first self-regenerating water softener. Now, nearly a century later, they are leading the way still. Not just about protection. It's about the best water for everything that you use it for. Their reverse osmosis system gives you bottled quality water straight from the tap, and you add the alkaline filters, your hydration gets a healthy boost. So, yes, it is a must-have in your home. So call them today, 760-350-3338. Or visit ecowatersocal.com and try the Soft Life and alkaline water, now just $9.95 a month. Tell them Woodsy sent you. Not everything in life should be hard, especially your water. Keeping it soft since 1925.
and this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
This hour on the Fan brought to you by Toyota of Poway, voted San Diego's #1 Toyota dealer by USA Today, with APRs as low as 0%. Tons of new Toyotas on the ground. No tricks, only treats during the Trucktober sales event happening now only at Toyota of Poway or online at toyotaofpoway.com in the heart of San Diego. I see the comments in the chat, so I like to address it. Purple says, this gambling scandal brought to you by Prize Picks. Use code KWFN. For me, I mean, I certainly, I don't rig any games. I recommend you don't as well.
Aren't you, in fact, in the mafia?
I certainly recommend you play responsibly. I do. I know most people that play do so responsibly. It's a form of entertainment. Makes it enjoyable to watch the games, to, put a few dollars here or there. When you get beyond that, though, is it possible to have both legal gambling, but also keep it from becoming a problem for people? I don't know. I mean, it's the same with alcohol. People have serious problems with alcohol.
Tell your mom she still owes me money. Yeah, that's him.
People have serious problems with alcohol.
It's right there.
You have to be responsible with what you do and make the right choices going forward.
My wife watched I don't know, 60 Minutes or a Sunday morning special and came into my office. This is probably 6 months ago. And she's like, "You're done." And I'm like, "Done what?" She's like, "With your gambling." And I go, what happened? And so she told me about it. I went back and watched it, and it was talking about kids. And I went, "All right, you're right." I said, "You're right. You're 100% right." She goes, I when our kids are 18 or 21? 18?
When you can
make Prize Picks and stuff.
I think it's 21.
21.
Yeah.
And I said, okay. I said, "You're right." I said, it's not something I want to perpetuate. I said, but, I go to the casino. We go to I was like, "You're pumping $100 bills in the slot machine when we go to Vegas. We're adults, right? And, you spend what you can afford to spend. But it is like anything. Too much of anything is not good for you.
Of course. I mean, no Super Bowl squares anymore.
Yeah, but
you can bet $10 a day and be responsible. You can drink a glass of wine every night and be responsible.
I mean, people drive their cars irresponsibly. Do we ban cars or do we not? People don't drink responsibly. Do we ban alcohol? Do we not? People don't gamble responsibly. Do we ban gambling or not? It's the same question for all of our vices and things that are fun to do, but in moderation and responsibly.
But it's funny. I stopped. Well, I was basically gambling illegally. Like I had a guy instead of, and I did some underdog and stuff like that. I was never good at those ever. And I still do pick them. I pay a flat fee at the beginning of the year, make picks. I do my golf dynasty. I pay a flat fee at the beginning of the year. I make picks, fantasy baseball, right?
But there's no difference between that just because you're doing it all at once and then making your picks. You could also do 1/100th of it and make 100 picks. It's the same thing. You're just paying in advance. There's no difference. That kind of gambling, other kind of gambling, it really is all the same.
I think it's just odd. It is a little bit jarring to see the leagues so much in bed with them. That's, I think, the thing that, and then hey, there's the odds of the game on TV. It was so not spoken about when we were kids. You knew it went on. Your dad had a bookie. Your dad placed bets. Your dad placed bets on the golf course. Your dad went and played the ponies, whatever. It just wasn't.
Get the Breeders' Cup coming to San Diego Del Mar this week. Of course, it's all based on gambling.
It just wasn't so out there, I think. And I think that's what's freaking everybody out.
Is it better to push it back into the shadows and the darkness?
Don't know.
Or to be a little more out in the light where it gets some sunshine at least? And, these stories get exposed. I don't know. You can have a valid opinion either way on it. I don't think it makes you hypocritical to enjoy a little bit of gambling, but also say it is wrong to fix basketball games.
Correct. I think there's a delineation there.
To cheat, the system and whatever. You're not supposed to cheat. You should do it up.
Let me ask you this, though. If you had inside information, would you use it? The answer is yes, 1,000%. Would it sway your picks? Yes. Unquestionably. Who wouldn't want inside info of, actually, his arm's about to explode? I would take the under on those 6.5 strikeouts tonight. Okay.
Like if we were having a conversation in the dugout with Ruben Niebla, and
Right.
we heard something about, I don't think he's going to make his next start.
Correct.
Or he's dealing with something. He's on a pitch limit.
Yeah.
He's out
Yeah.
after. He's only pitched 2.
I don't think I'd go take out a loan so I could bet
Not a loan,
a
but
massive
you would-
amount of money.
You
If
would
I
take
was-
the under.
if I had to make a pick, I'd probably go on the under. Yes.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
I don't feel like I'm cheating anybody out of anything.
You are though.
But you are. You're cheating everybody else. It doesn't have that inside information. But it's the same with the stock market and all that. Like, I don't know. It is look, we can all sit and justify all the things that are probably bad for us, but we do anyway. I'll justify it all every single bit of it. But when my wife told me this, I go, yeah.
I mean, we should all be riding our bikes to work.
Correct. Yeah, exactly.
Let's be honest.
I did tell her, I said, you know what? You are 100% right. I don't want to be the guy screaming at the television on a Sunday because, Miami didn't score a touchdown and cost me my bet. My life's been better for it. I don't miss it at all, not even a little. But I'll say this. I'll say this to be honest. I watch the games now and I'm like, I'm bored. I'm bored. I don't care about Miami, Cleveland. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to go do something else because I have no rooting interest in this game anymore. It's taken away some of the juice of watching the games.
All right, we got to check traffic here. We'll come back. There's another big money story from this weekend in sports as well that we haven't gotten to on our Padres Smörgåsbord as well. Next on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is brought to you by Toyota of Poway, voted San Diego's #1 Toyota dealer by USA Today. Got a few things that might slow you down, but some good news. Northbound 5, that accident has cleared near Cesar Chavez Parkway, but we have this other accident up ahead before Genesee. This one is blocking the right lane. Also, eastbound 8 near Mission Bay Drive, collision in the clearing stage. Everything's over to the right shoulder. In the North County, dealing with collision southbound 15 right before Felicita. It's over the right shoulder. Then up ahead at Miramar Way, accident involving several vehicles, including a motorcycle. They're trying to clear this out of the HOV lane. Reports of a possible encampment fire northbound 15 just before Miramar Road. Smoke visible from the right shoulder. Toyota of Poway has been voted San Diego's #1 Toyota dealer by USA Today with APRs as low as 0% and tons of new Toyotas on the ground. No tricks, only treats during the Trucktober sales event happening now only at Toyota of Poway or online at toyotaofpoway.com in the heart of San Diego. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben & Wood, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Padres Smörgåsbord.
All right, never mind.
Yeah.
Call it something else.
Woods has already threatened to bleeping flip out on me.
Yes, if you say who I think you're going to say, I'm going to.
All right, so you didn't hear the segment, obviously, last
not.
Wednesday, when the question was, which current Padres players under contract control for 2026 most likely to be traded by A.J. Preller? He's a madman. Didn't make any giant trades last offseason, but most offseasons he does make some deals, and sometimes they involve players that are on his roster. So I just wanted to kind of have the discussion. Who is potentially tradable? I didn't want anyone to be caught off guard by an A.J. Preller move, even though we always end up being caught off guard when he makes a big trade. And I brought up a few names.
not be who I think it is, and I know you wouldn't trade Tatis.
Well, the one that
You're
got
not an idiot.
no, we're not talking about idiotic moves. Not talking about Jackson Merrill. Not talking about core players. The one that I thought got the most intrigue, and even Paulie kind of nodded, Gavin Sheets.
Oh yeah, I can see that. Sell high,
sell kind of high.
Yeah, sell very high.
You signed him for nothing. Now
But you also
his
signed him
power.
for nothing, and you need his power.
You need his power, which is why I don't necessarily know it's going to happen. But if a team makes you an offer, you can address some pitching. And
you're taking a weakness on your team and then
making
taking one of the best parts of the weakness and then getting rid of that.
I think you have to evaluate whether you think Gavin Sheets is going to take another step forward, be a 20 to 25 homer guy, which is absolutely something you need. But if he's just a 15 home run hitting DH and first baseman, you need more than that.
Yeah.
And if someone's willing to give you something for Gavin Sheets, I think you at least discuss it in the offseason.
I couldn't agree more.
You got like 45 seconds. Say the other names.
It better not be Mason Miller.
No.
Oh, thank
the
God.
other one,
Okay.
it was the bullpen, though. I said Jeremiah Estrada was my first name.
Sure.
Deal from a strength to try to address other weaknesses.
Wandy.
And then the other one that I just brought up, I don't want to trade him, but he's going into last year of contract. There's more help. You try to extend him.
Cue the music.
Extend him if you can.
Shut your pie hole.
If you can't extend him, you got to think
We
at
finally
least about
figured it out. It's
trading.
taken 11 years. It's like, let's get rid of him. Guy's unbelievable.
We'll come back.
So glad I missed that on Wednesday.
Another college football coach.
Come on, man.
Bought out for tens of millions of dollars yesterday.
No longer a great day to be a tagger.
No, it is not.
Take on Woods. Craig Elsten all coming up. Hour number 3. Ben and Woods next on The Fan.
All right, we're halfway home on a Monday. Ben and Woods, 97.3 The Fan. Great to be back with you guys after a few days off. I was out in the desert. I've got Arizona lung right now, just kind of hacking up dust. And just, you get so dehydrated. The second you cross the state line, just every bit of moisture just sucks out of your body. And you go into the restrooms there at the baseball fields, and it has a, not to be gross, but it has like a urine chart, urine color. I meant to take a picture and text it to you guys.
Oh, I've seen those.
Yeah, the urine
Pale
chart.
straw.
Pale. If it's clear, you're good. If it's this color, have a bottle of water. If it's this color, have 2 bottles of water.
It's like a color palette.
It's a color palette, yeah.
Clear
to
nothing
brown.
to brown.
And then if it's brown, it's like you're going to die. So might as well call your family. Mine was nearing brown towards the end. And you're just like, I can't possibly drink any more water. But they had them posted everywhere. It was very warm, very dry. And the air just.
What are we talking, like 80s, 70s?
Like upper 80s. We also played on turf for 2 games. So it was you could see the heat, and you could see the heat radiating off of it. It was pretty brutal, but always a good time. But good to be back.
I hate that it's just another thing to feel guilty about, though. The color of your urine. Like, it's too dark. I'm doing something else wrong.
Yeah, I'm doing something else wrong in my life. I just need to drink more water. I'm Woodsy with Paul Reindl, executive producer, Ben Higgins, your friendly neighborhood sports anchor. Of course, you come back from, I was gone Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night. I came home Saturday. So I was gone 4 nights. My wife said the kids were 12 out of 10, which was such a relief.
Nice.
Yeah, such a relief. And I said, well, maybe I'm the problem. I don't know. But she said they were excellent. And she did share a story with me. They were, Bo was on fall break, as a lot of kids were. Taylor's still in preschool, so he does not have fall break, thank God, because 2 at home all day would have been a rough scene. They take Taylor to school one day, and there's this little girl in his class that was like, they walked in, and she goes, oh, my God, Bo, you're here. Oh, my gosh, Taylor's been telling me so much about you. Are you okay? I was like, what? He goes, yeah, I'm good. And he says to Taylor, he goes, what did you tell her about me? And Taylor said, I told her you had rabies.
Rabies.
So she tells his whole class that his brother has rabies. And so everyone in class was worried sick about Bo that he had rabies. And Bo's like, you idiot.
Is this like, what do they call that? Munchausen syndrome? That he wants sympathy because his brother is infected with rabies?
I told my wife, where does he come up with this stuff?
What?
Where does he come up with this stuff? And apparently, in the 5 days that I was gone, he's such a troll. Yeah.
You got bit by a raccoon.
Yeah. In the 5 days that I've been gone, he has moved off of every bit of Spider-Man, whatever. He's now 1,000% full bore Harry Potter.
Love it.
And I mean, he got the full costume, he got the glasses.
He went to Hogwarts.
He got a wand. So he's like, Dad, Professor Snape. And I've never seen 1 second of any of them. It's not my jam. You guys know that. But now I'm finding myself going, am I a crap dad if I don't just sit down tonight and like
start reading the books to him,
or like dive in at least to the films,
movies,
right?
Start with books.
I don't want to start with the books. I would rather start with the movies.
Start with the 700-page books.
Yes, let me rip through.
Read a chapter every night. In about 5 years, you'll be done reading the entire series to him.
So I want, like, Bo and I have so much in common because it's all the stuff I like, he likes, because that's how I trained him. Right? But Taylor is his own person. He's his own interest. I think I do need to, like, at least start to watch, because he's talking to me and it's like he's speaking gibberish. I have no idea what he's saying. I know Professor Snape. I know Hogwarts is the school.
Correct. Yes. That's the school.
You guys get a
Dumbledore.
You have a crash
Hermione.
course. Hermione, do you have a crash course for me quickly?
I
in
mean,
30 seconds? Can you sum this up?
I've read the books. I can
You have?
certainly, yes, I have. I can certainly
I'm not
get you caught up.
surprised. All right.
So those books,
How many are there?
7.
You read all 7.
All 7 books.
Did you
As
have
most
to?
people, I think, in the world have at this point. Paulie?
So I read 5 out of the 7 books.
You did?
Because they all came out. I was in like 3rd grade when the books came out.
Okay, that makes sense.
And they were amazing. They really were.
Are they?
They were like the first books that I just remember, like how vividly they painted a picture in your brain and you got hooked into the story. And I was like 10 years old. So everybody was reading these books, but I read the first 5 books. They got
when
bigger
you were
and
10,
longer.
how old was I?
25.
I'm not reading any Harry Potter books when I'm 25
All
years
right,
old.
here we go.
When did you
You
read
guys are
them?
the same age, right?
Yeah, we are the
I
same
was
age.
probably closer to my 30s when I read them.
Oh,
They were a sensation. Everybody was
I'm-
reading them. All right, quick
I'm
overview.
embarrassed for you.
Wizards and witches really exist. They secretly live among us, but don't reveal themselves to the rest of the world. They have special schools, including this one in Britain called Hogwarts.
Okay.
Harry Potter, who didn't even know he was a wizard until he found out at age 11, finds out he's a wizard, goes to this school. Turns out he's a pretty important wizard because his parents were killed by a really evil wizard.
He's the wizard.
He's the wizard.
Harry
Yes,
is.
Yeah.
there's this big prophecy where he's
He's the
destined.
Shohei Ohtani.
He's
of
destined
wizards.
to battle
Okay.
the most evil wizard of all
Okay.
time. Basically to the death in the end, and it builds up over 7 books until this epic conclusion in the final book, where he faces off against the evil wizard whose name is Voldemort. There you go.
Okay. Now, if I was to get the books and sit down and read a chapter to him every night, what are we talking? 20 minutes, 15 minutes? Are they short
chapters?
They are short
long
chapters.
don't
books. 30 to 40 chapters per book.
All right.
7 books. It would take you probably years to get through the entire series with him.
Great.
Maybe just go to the movies.
This parenting thing is really a full-time job if you do it right. I just feel bad because when he talks, he's so into it, man. He's so into it.
You can come over to our house. I'll watch Harry Potter with him.
I'll watch it with him. I'll watch it. I can get through a movie. I think.
The movies are pretty good.
Are they?
They,
All right.
they kind of get dark if I remember.
Do they?
Oh, yeah. It starts very kid-like
Yeah.
in the first one, and then as he grows up, the stories get much more dark and dangerous and kind of scary as they go.
The actors
So-
are all like 10, 11, 12 years
Yeah,
old
yeah.
when they
Started.
start filming, and then it gets pretty heavy there.
Yeah.
All right. Great.
The books they were all like the first 3 I remember were, I don't know, call it 300 pages. That was a lot, but doable. And then like the 4th book came out, it was like 700 pages. And then the 5th book came out, and that was even bigger. And I just said, I'm done.
I'm done. I'm out.
I'm out.
You're killing this thing.
And then the
for me.
movies started to come out years later after the books. So you already knew the story. And then the movies started to come out
Okay.
one at a time. And they sprinkled that out over like 10 plus
Yeah.
years. Because then they
Okay.
split the 7th book into 2 movies.
That's right. 8 movies, 7 books.
Oh my
yeah.
God. Jesus Christ, it's an epic. It's just an epic.
It is. And it is.
I never finished the movies even until like I was probably 25, and I just got really sick for like a week.
And then
And
you
there was a
them.
marathon on HBO
Yeah,
or
makes
something.
sense.
So I was like, all right, I'll watch the last 2 movies and finally
Yeah,
It's
figure
very
out
immersive.
how
though.
the
You
story
get-
ends.
you get into the world.
He's
and
so
it's very
sweet.
detail
He's so
He'll love it.
stinking
He'll
cute with
love
dude.
it.
And I'm digging for this picture my wife sent me. He looks like it's perfect. He has the little glasses and the robe and his little one. He's passed out on the couch. He's
Especially
dead
the
asleep.
first movie, like we just said, they're younger,
Yeah.
and there's like the bad guy. There's like trolls or
Sure.
whatever, but it's nothing too heavy. It's nothing too scary. Hogwarts is you're learning everything for the first time watching the first movie.
Okay.
It's going to be more in tune with what he experienced at Universal Studios.
Well, there's one guy out there right now that has the time on his hands to actually sit and
true.
read all of these books if he wanted to. He's got nothing but time now because he's no longer the head football coach at Louisiana State University. His name is Brian Kelly.
Mm.
He of the Baton Rouge Kellys. No, he of the Boston Brian Kellys.
It's a great night
Sure is.
to be a Tiger.
Yeah. Yeah. He's out. They,
The latest big money college football coach to get his walking papers this season.
a $54 million buyout for
I'm
Brian
here
Kelly.
with my family.
Yeah, it didn't last long, did it?
He had a good first season and then fell off the second season and now gets fired after losing 3 out of 4 in SEC play in his third season. And I guess they wanted him to make some changes, fire his offensive coordinator. He pushed back and boom, that was it. It happened all in like 24 hours.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, fine, you're gone, but now LSU's on the hook. Now they've talked about a negotiated settlement, but there's really no reason he has to. They owe him the entire $54 million. The only thing they can do is say, well, if we give you like $48 million, then you can go get another job and we don't have to offset it. But other than that, they're pretty much going to pay him out almost every single dollar that he's owed, just like Jimbo Fisher got, just like
James Franklin,
Billy Napier, James Franklin. The money that has been left on the table by colleges firing their coaches is absolutely crazy this year.
And you told me, and I didn't know this, the AD that hired Jimbo Fisher at A&M,
Then
which
went
had
to LSU,
he
and-
had a $70 million buyout, hires Brian Kelly to negotiate a $54 million buyout. The same AD.
Crushing it, by the way.
Basically has taken $120 million, give or take, and lit it on fire, essentially, to pay people to go. How does this guy keep getting jobs?
You know, the funny thing is in my mind, nothing really has changed other than now the SEC is this giant mega conference. And obviously you can't do as well. When you're playing ranked teams almost every single week, you're going to have a bad season. Every team is going to have it. Alabama,
so why not, if you
Auburn, they're all going to have bad seasons because their conference is so deep and tough. Right. Now even Vanderbilt's good in that conference.
They have the Heisman Trophy winner.
There's no easy games. Not everybody can have a good year. It doesn't necessarily mean they're all terrible coaches.
I know.
It just means the competition is so tough at all of these schools. Someone's going to have a bad year every once in a while, and no one has any patience anymore. Like, you don't sit through a bad season anymore in college football. I think it's short-sighted. Was Brian Kelly ever a great hire for LSU? I don't know about that. That we thought that was funny and funky when he was originally hired away from Notre Dame to go down there.
He left, and his whole as a Notre Dame fan, I don't want to tap dance on it, but when he left and he said, "I'm leaving to go to a school that has the resources to win a national championship," well, Marcus Freeman got closer to a national championship than Brian Kelly ever did, and I can't be mad at him leaving because I got the coach that I want and love and hope he stays for a long time. I don't think he will because that's just the nature of that business. But, man, I'm telling you, these college coaches hitting the road, leaving teams early, and then, only to find out the grass isn't necessarily greener all the time and maybe even a little bit more challenging. He gets shown his walking papers, and there's the second video of Brian Kelly leaving a campus in the middle of the night in an SUV. I saw that last night. This one was different. He left Notre Dame. They fired him here. And what's he going to do now?
I mean, there's plenty of jobs open because of all the other coaches that have been fired. You can go to UCLA and take over if you want it.
I was crying yesterday. It's some of the tweets that came out. They said, here's actual audio of Brian Kelly interviewing for the UCLA job.
Dude, you got the best barrels ever, dude. Just like you pull in and you just get spit right out of them. And you just drop in and just smack the lip. Whoop-ah! Drop down, snap, and then after that, you just drop in, just ride the barrel and get pitted, so pitted like that.
Brian, I was more interested in how you were going to lead UCLA back to national relevance, not how you're planning on attacking the waves here in Southern California, sir. Sure. It was pretty incredible. Pretty incredible.
Penn State has an opening.
Yo, call me when you get your vote.
People are so creative on the internet. They're so creative. I mean, so I don't know, man. I don't know what's going to happen with BK. He'll probably get another job, but he's just so unlikable. He's so abrasive. He's so unlikable. I don't know. Where's a good fit for him? NFL may be a better fit for Brian.
You hear these stories like Florida is, potentially trying to poach Lane Kiffin away from Ole Miss. They're going to have to give him the same contract like a Brian Kelly got. And then
Sark might want to go back or go to the NFL.
He is denying it. The reports that he's interested in an NFL job. I don't know why. What is so wrong about potentially wanting to coach at the very highest level of your sport? Other than you're going to step on some toes of the place that's paying you right now.
Well, There's
nothing embarrassing about having aspirations of coaching in the NFL if you're a college head coach.
Okay, the same thing goes for Major League Baseball. I was talking to a couple of the dads yesterday at Bo's baseball practice. We're talking about Tony Vitello, who in his opening press conference, new manager of the Giants, was like, hey, this is a very selfish decision on my part. And he actually is taking a pay cut, Ben. Did you know that? To go coach in Major League Baseball. Sounds like something our agent would negotiate for us. So you're telling me we're going to a higher level, but we're going to get paid less. Make it make sense to me. But yeah, he was like this guilt. It was like kind of guilty for leaving Tennessee.
They put him on the map.
You're going to the big leagues. You get to be a big league manager, one of 30. You can find another college coaching job. Don't feel guilty about going to coach the San Francisco Giants.
I think he feels bad.
I mean, I don't want my manager feeling bad. I want my manager feeling good, really good.
Oh, I'm sure he is.
It's
I'm sure
crazy
he feels
to
great
me.
about everything that's going on with the Giants. He feels bad for building something.
That's the job.
Taking Tennessee to the promised land.
But that's the job.
I understand.
To get to the next level.
That's what I think too. That's why Sark is so defensive about the reports that he wants to get to the next level again. Fine. Don't you want your coach to be ambitious and to want to do so well that they want him in the NFL? I don't know.
I have no idea. It's just it's a weird time in college. Being a college head football coach is very lucrative, especially if you're terrible, which is the weird part. The worse you are, the more financially stable you can be.
Who knows? Maybe someone's preparing a giant offer for Sean Lewis. We'll talk about the Aztecs coming up in our 9 o'clock hour. Another shutout win for San Diego State. They've won 5 in a row. One of the hottest teams in college football right now. First, though, we got Take on Woods coming up next. If you want to try to qualify for our trip to Vegas, our Jerry Seinfeld tickets, and our musical trivia contest, call now 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. Take on Woods coming up next year on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. First, though, after all the discussion we've had this morning, I will tell you about Prize Picks. It is my place to play daily fantasy sports. Yeah, do so responsibly, of course, but it's really easy. I mean, I'm putting together $5 lineups, just picking more or less against stat projections. The more you put together, the more you can win. Or you can go a little more conservatively and just pick 2 or 3 players in your lineup and win that way. You can even do a flex play, like 5 players, but only 4 of them need to win your lineups. It's a lot of fun. I've been doing it for a couple of years. You can join as well. Simply download the app by going to the Prize Picks website and use the code KWFN to get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. That's code KWFN to get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. It's safe. You get your money really quickly when you win. You can request it through Venmo, Apple Pay, even MasterCard now for your cash outs, which I've done a few times over the years. Very simple to do. And again, make sure you use that code KWFN to get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineups at Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for details.
player, this is all yours. This room with this and this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Get Craig Elsten's in-person perspective of SDFC's win last night coming up right now at the bottom of the hour. First, though, it's time for our first game of the week. Let's play a little Take on Woods. Take on Woods brought to you by Bay Alarms, security and fire alarms for every business. We got you. I went into the YouTube stream to see if we could get a contestant, and Tyler called in to be our contestant today. Hello, Tyler. How are you?
Hey, good morning, guys. Good. How are you guys?
I'm good. All right, let's get you qualified for our grand prize. You beat or tie Woods. You will be in the drawing for the trip to Las Vegas to see Jerry Seinfeld on April 17th at the Coliseum at Caesars Palace. 2 tickets, a 2-night stay at the Flamingo Hotel and Casino, and a $100 gas card. You can get your tickets to Jerry's 2 shows in April on the 17th and 18th at Ticketmaster.com. Here are your categories. Woods is out of the studio now. Another Take on Woods category, 5 song titles that include the word another. Do the Do, 5 song titles that begin with the word do. And In the Black, all 2-second songs that include the word black in the title. So another Take on Woods category, Do the Do or In the Black. Tyler, what would you like to play?
Let's do another category.
Another Take on Woods category. All right, the key word in all of these songs is another. You'll have 60 seconds. If you don't know an answer, you can say pass. We'll come back to it if there's time left on the clock. The first question is the one and only 2-second song. Paulie will play the music. You need to give me the song title and the artist to score that point. You go first. Woods comes in without the category, goes second. We'll compare scores at the end. Tyler, you ready to go?
Let's do it.
All right. Paulie, you good to go with your song? All right, he's ready to go. Let's put 60 seconds on the clock.
Oh, hang on. Sorry,
Let's
not ready.
Pause for a second and just
Love
wait.
when you get the wrong file.
Wrong file's open. That's all right. Again, the category is another Take on Woods category. Now Paulie's ready to go. 60 seconds on the clock. Tyler, your time begins when Paul plays the music. Good luck. Let's Take on Woods.
Another One Bites the Dust, Queen.
Correct. Part 2 of which 1979 3-part composition.
Another Brick in the Wall.
Correct. Which catchy 1983 tune that's actually a political rant became the highest charting hit for the English band The Fix.
Pass.
Phil Collins sings "Oh, Think Twice" in a 1989 song that once again tackles the issue of homelessness.
Pass.
Blondie is gonna find you and gonna get you.
One way or another.
Correct. Which catchy 1983 tune that's actually a political rant became the highest charting hit for the English band The Fix.
One thing leads to another.
Correct. Phil Collins sings "Oh, Think Twice" in a 1989 song that once again tackles the issue of homelessness.
Shoot, I'm going to get beat 5-4. I don't know.
I don't know if you're going to get beat, but your time is running out. And that one was Another Day in Paradise. But you did get the other four. Another one bites the dust. Another brick in the wall. One thing leads to another, and one way or another. Hang on the line, Tyler. We'll see how Woods does. He doesn't get the category. Does make it a more challenging game. Let's put our 60 seconds back on the clock. Woods, your time begins when Paul plays the music. Good luck. Let's take on Tyler.
Another One Bites the Dust by Queen.
Correct. Part 2 of which 1979 three-part composition by Pink Floyd famously includes a children's choir.
Pass.
Which catchy 1983 tune that's actually a political rant became the highest charting hit for the English band The Fix?
What's the category? Pass.
Phil Collins sings "Oh, Think Twice" in a 1989 song that once again tackles the issue of homelessness.
Another Day in Paradise?
Correct. Blondie is going to find you and going to get you, in which
One Way or Another?
Correct. Part 2 of which 1979 three-part composition by Pink Floyd famously includes a children's choir.
The Wall.
Incorrect. Which catchy 1983 tune that's actually a political rant became the highest charting hit for the English band The
One
Fix?
thing leads to another.
Correct, which is a 4-4 tie.
Oh.
The word.
What's the category?
Another one bites
Another
the
brick
dust.
in the wall.
Another brick in the wall. Yes. Tyler, good job.
Did not
4
jive.
is good enough to qualify. Hang on the line.
That was grindy.
Paul, you'll get your information.
That was a grinder.
You were getting them all, and it's like, how does he not see the
I was
same
like, what
word
is
that's
the
in
word?
every single category is another. Now, another one bites the dust.
Even said, I don't know, the wall.
One thing leads to another.
Close.
Another day in paradise, one way or another.
Man, that was grindy.
Good game, though. Good
Excellent
game.
game.
And we
Good
got a
job, Tyler.
qualifier. Yep. All right. Craig Elsten will join us. SDFC thoughts. He was at the game last night as they win their playoff debut against Portland. That is coming up next on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Tweeted out a couple picks over the weekend of our tournament and talked a little bit about how sore I was. Oh my God, every muscle, my body hurt. You know, it didn't hurt my wrists, my joints, thanks to QC Kinetics. Oh, look, I'm getting a little back rub from Benny right now. That feels so nice. More and more these days, people who are in pain, taking control of their health, looking beyond traditional medicine. I'm so glad I did. Went into QC Kinetics years ago, got the treatments on my wrist, and people like me, like you, finding lasting relief without steroids, medications, or surgery. Right here in San Diego at QC Kinetics. It is pretty incredible. Go meet with Dr. Jackson and his team and get to the root of where your pain stems from, right down to the cells involved. By putting these natural elements to work, your body can revitalize your joints, literally using your own power to heal. Very simple injection, guys, not a hospital stay. It's fast. It's all natural. There's no downtime. Call QC Kinetics today and schedule that free consultation with Dr. Jackson and his team. So if your knees, back, shoulders, keeping you from enjoying life, playing baseball tournaments, whatever it is you want to do, give them a call today. Take charge of your health. Look beyond the same old solutions. First consultation is free. No reason to wait. Call QC Kinetics now. Locations in Hillcrest and in Torrey Hills. 619-614-PAIN. 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 It's QC Kinetics.
and this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
It's nice being in a town with a team that's up in a playoff series.
I was watching last night, and I would be lying to you if I didn't have the creeping thought of, oh God, they're going to hit the equalizer.
I did too.
At some point.
Portland
was making a run, had plenty of opportunities, and I went, here we go, and it didn't happen. Didn't happen.
It was too much to think it was going to be easy.
Oh yeah, of course.
It was never going to be easy.
Correct.
We are San Diegans after all, but SDFC pulled out the 2-1 win. Greg Elsten is standing by. We will talk soccer and more coming up right after a check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is brought to you by Toyota of Poway, voted San Diego's #1 Toyota dealer by USA Today. Well, guys, we still have a few problems here. One of them is the stalled vehicle on the South 5 coastline right before Cannon. It has been moved over to the right shoulder. Southbound 15 cleared an accident near Falicita. Looks like we still have this other crash, though, near Miramar Way. Motorcycle involved. They're trying to get that cleared out of the HOV lane. Also reports of a collision on southbound 15 right at the eastbound 8 connector ramp. That's over to the left shoulder. Heading west on the 8 before Mission Gorge Road, stalled car in the center divide. Toyota of Poway has been voted San Diego's #1 Toyota dealer by USA Today, with APRs as low as 0% and tons of new Toyotas on the ground. No tricks, only treats during the Trucktober sales event happening now only at Toyota of Poway or online at toyotaofpoway.com in the heart of San Diego. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben & Wood, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
And we're joined right now by the host of the Padres Hot Tub podcast, the Chromaniacs podcast, and the Crossing Streams podcast, Greg Elsten. I want to ask you, Greg, how long does it take you to get into your Chromaniac get up for the games with the hair and the jacket and the tie and everything you got going? Did he freeze like right as I asked him the question?
I see the spinning wheel.
He just he's smiling and you froze, Greg. Yeah, there you are.
There we go. We got you now.
Okay. It doesn't take too long, Ben. You know, putting on a suit is normal. It's just getting the hair right. It's the it's wig arrangement is the key to all of that.
I was thinking about it this morning. I'm like, I saw you going out. I'm like, how worse for wear is Craig feeling this morning? Let's say you didn't have a couple of tequilas and you just went out there and did your normal thing in a playoff game. The place sounded and looked electric on television. I know you left it all out on the field last night. How are you feeling this morning?
My voice is pretty much trash.
Yep.
It was way worse when we did our post-game show last night. It's actually kind of fun, though, when your voice gets so bad, all of a sudden you have this deep voice.
Yeah, you
Like,
sound
wow,
kind of,
yeah, this really deep voice.
Yeah,
But if I
hello,
get any
everybody.
higher, it just completely destroys. I couldn't believe the atmosphere. And I've been, in the 3252. I've been in Section 109 at Torero. I've been in the North End for almost every SDFC match. I've never seen it like that. That was playoff level. That was the intensity, the volume, and the beauty of it, boys, is that a whole season culminates in this. So it's a season of supporting. Everybody knows the songs now. Everyone knows the chants, knows what to do, and so it's just go out there and do it. And while we were doing it, I'm looking up and I'm seeing the very top corners of the upper deck are full at Snapdragon Stadium on a Sunday night for the first playoff match. San Diego is a soccer city, and it was proven once again last night.
I was amazed because I was thinking it was less than 2 years ago that they even said we were getting a team. And now SDFC is sitting here 4 wins potentially away from delivering a championship to San Diego, just kind of based on what you've seen. How realistic is it? I know there are other good teams. Vancouver, Philadelphia got a win yesterday as well. Not going to be easy, but do they have a legitimate shot, do you believe, Craig, of winning a title?
Yes.
Okay.
A legitimate shot, yes, they do. Are there tough matchups along the way? Yes. I'd say the next one. Portland, obviously, I think SDFC is better than Portland. And, getting the first goal and then getting a second goal last night was so important. That red card was important. Portland is, as Woodsy said right before you brought me on, missed a couple chances. 62nd minute, could have equalized, missed a chip. Thank you for missing your chip.
Oh, my God.
We appreciate it. But the next round, if SDFC advances like we think they will, the next round is either Minnesota or Seattle. Seattle is a team that's got so much history, so much experience, and Minnesota plays the style that SDFC doesn't like. They are the team that likes to play without the ball. They're the team that concedes possession. They just defend, and they wait to get a grimy goal later in the game. And their goalkeeper, you might remember earlier in the summer, came out and had like a 12-save performance at Snapdragon to beat SDFC and basically stood on his head to beat them. So that matchup is concerning. SDFC has beaten Vancouver. They have beaten LAFC. I mean, obviously either team could take it to them in a one-game situation, but you like it. And you haven't gotten to play teams like Union or Inter Miami, so you have no idea on the East. But to get out of the West, they can do it. I think actually the next round is the one I'm the most concerned about.
Talking to our pal Craig Elsten here on Ben and Woods this morning, and the Chucky Lozano situation finally was brought to light, I think, a little bit more. We talked early in the show about I think I used the word temerity, stones, whatever you want to say, to bench a star player, one of your star players, and say culture is bigger, team is bigger than you. I found it fascinating, Craig, and I did see the other perspective. I did see people saying this is a coach that doesn't know what he's doing. I did. I mean, I saw people like, man, this is not a smart thing for Mike Yvaris to do, but putting the team before everyone. I wanted to get your thoughts now that more has come to light on it, kind of where you stood on that last night, because as Ben said, you get into PKs, right? Who better than to have that guy out there for you? And Mike Yvaris said, no, we're gonna make him pay the price a little bit.
I couldn't be more impressed.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, in the supporters purple lot at the tailgate, when the lineup came out, the first thing everyone did, of course, was just open up on that SDFC app and start pressing on the player name,
yes,
on the little heads and go, okay, who's in? And then you go through the bench and you're, wait, he's not on the bench. And like 3 people around me on my phone as we're doing that, and everyone said the same thing. Well, you better win. Because it's one thing to bench him in the last game of the regular season and make a statement. It's quite another to bench him in the first match of the playoffs and make a deeper statement. And in a week when Chucky was practicing with the team. So after the match, Mikey said, basically it's done and dusted. As long as there's no setbacks this week, he'll be in the lineup. Next week, I guess the setback would be a temper tantrum or a sprained ankle. I don't know. I don't know which one. But presumably it's over, and Chuki's in the lineup. And we talked about this on Cromaniacs last night. You kind of have to put him in the lineup the next match.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's the one time where you've got literally the one time in the playoffs that you have a cushion. You can drop the game at Providence Park, come home and win the series against Portland. But this is the one chance to kind of reintegrate him into the team. If you went another match without him and you won again, and now you're saying you're going to put him in an elimination match, that's getting tricky. So it's got to be done now. It's got to be sorted now. I think it is. And as such, Mikey Varis's stock just keeps rising because this team didn't miss a beat all the way through. Mike Schilt could never.
Never.
Let's just put it that way. Could never.
I couldn't ever. Like as a man, there's no way. I'd be like, listen, you don't do it again. Now get out there to shortstop and give me your best effort and just clean it up and don't do that again. It's very difficult to do. And that's the difference in Mikey Varis and a lot of head coaches, man.
Craig, were you concerned at all about the second half? It just felt like a different game in terms of Portland when their backs were against the wall. They played much better than they did in the first half when SDFC was controlling everything, possession, chances. Second half was a lot dicier. Do you think they take that momentum into their home game next week and kind of come out with a different strategy against SDFC?
Well, that'd be really interesting because Portland's strategy is to try and run the counter to SDFC's strategy. And when we were talking about chances, Minnesota, they run the perfect counter to SDFC's strategy. Portland's trying to do the same thing. It makes the first goal like 85% of the game. So I don't know that they're going to change tactics. If anything, I think they'd come out more aggressive offensively at home, and that really plays to San Diego FC's benefit if they do. As to the second half, it was getting a tiny bit wobbly. And then they, made a big mistake, and a guy on a yellow card made a reckless tackle and took a second yellow. It was a pretty clear play. There was no controversy to it. The moment it was 11-on-10, which I think was the 67th minute or thereabouts. At that point, my confidence level went up to a 10. I mean, they're going to see the match out at that point, and that's exactly what they did. Look, Portland is a very proud team, organization, fan base. They've got an incredible atmosphere at their park. They're going to have, the chainsaw running, hoping to cut some wood on Saturday night. And, I think we've all got some good plans for Saturday night, but I'm also going to plan to watch San Diego FC and hopefully complete this sweep.
Craig Elsten joins us here on Ben and Woods this morning. Latest for you on Padres skipper watch. You saw a couple of names come off the board today and last week with Kurt Suzuki going to the Halos, and then
Craig Albernaz
to the Baltimore Orioles. Pujols rumored to be involved in either of those. Kind of where do you stand on the latest? We haven't gotten a lot of news to bite down on.
Yeah, I mean, we really haven't. So I'm going to stay in the same spot that I think if it's not Pujols, it needs to be Niebla. And either one of those guys is going to need a strong bench coach, and it's going to be a real curiosity as to see what direction they go, whether they go to a Scott Service or a Buddy Black or, who would it be? I think if you have Pujols, you have to have a guy next to him that he trusts. So it's probably someone from his past, somebody that he's, run a race with, so to speak. In a different universe, it might have been Mike Schilt.
Yeah.
But
I doubt that's happening.
Yeah, I don't think so. But he needs somebody like that because no matter what, you've been a first base at DH, you've got a feel for the game, but not at the level of being a major league manager and pulling the triggers 3 steps ahead. So until we hear something of more interest, I'm just going to kind of stay in that holding pattern. If I think it's Pujols, if it's not, it needs to be Niebla, and either guy needs a strong number 2.
Yeah, I haven't been worried about any of the names that have come off the board so far. And not that I don't think Craig Albernaz might end up being a good manager, even
Kurt Suzuki.
But to me, none of them were fits for the San Diego Padres. You either need to have to me, some experience on the job to take the team to the next level in the playoffs, or you need to know this organization. Pujols is a weird fit in that he's neither really. He has no managerial experience on the big league level, at least, and is from outside the organization, but he is Albert Pujols, which kind of changes the equation a little bit. Brian Esposito to me makes more sense than going out on a bench coach from another team like a Craig Albernaz.
Yeah, I agree. It's funny. Rafi Cantor on Padres Hot Tub last week just had a great question talking about how each managerial hire has felt like it was at least a little bit of an overcorrection for the previous one.
Yeah.
So, Jace Tingler, no experience. Okay, we'll get the most experience. Bob Melvin. Okay, Bob Melvin, way too chill. We're going to go get the fiery guy in Mike Schilt. Okay, Mike Schilt, too much of a jerk with the people and doesn't have the respect of the veteran players. We're going to go get a veteran player.
The ultimate veteran player. Right.
Yeah.
The 700 home runs.
Right. So now what are you going to say? It feels like we're kind of doing that game again. And I do wonder, having said that, what a Manny or a Toddy thinks if it is Esposito, if it is going back to a Flaherty, like guys who don't have any experience and wouldn't command the clubhouse, you wouldn't think. But then again, Stephen Vogt didn't have any experience, and I think we'd all sign up to take him if Cleveland let him off the hook. So it's such a sticky wicket for the Padres. I just don't see them. And this is why. 2026 is so important. 2027 isn't promised. Baseball world.
Yeah.
A lockout is planned. And 2028 is kind of where that aging curve is really starting to kick in for San Diego. This feels like an all-in season for the San Diego Padres 2026. If you don't get it done here, what's the rest of the decade really look like? LA is still a thing that exists.
Yeah.
So I just don't see them going the combination of no experience and no prestige. Pujols brings you prestige with no experience, right? I don't see the bench coach elevation as being the next move.
Out of time.
Thank you,
We'll
brother.
chat with you next
Appreciate
Monday.
you, man.
Appreciate it. We'll come back with the Reindl Report, talk Aztecs football and more next here on 97.3 The Fan. Got one team linked to a potential Padres free agent over the weekend. Tell you who that is coming up. Final hour of Ben and Woods. Want to remind you the biggest fan contest returns 1 week from today, Monday, November 3rd. Our grand prize is a night in the Odyssey Suite with 20 tickets for you and your friends to watch a future Padres game with the whole fan staff. Just register your name. Enter at 973thefansd.com/biggest fan, and then listen when we start announcing names next Monday at 9 a.m., 1 p.m., and 5:30 p.m. every weekday for your chance to qualify. And speaking of prizes, this hour we're also going to give away those tickets, 3-day passes to Snow Jam 2025 coming to Del Mar November 7th through 9th, plus a $100 gift card to spend while you are there. I did see, though, the name linked to the Chicago Cubs this weekend. Bruce Levine of The Score, 76670 The Score, said Dylan Cease is someone that the Cubs look like they will be actively pursuing in free agency this offseason.
Can see that making sense. Again, under the win-loss record was not great for Dylan Cease. But again, valuing the innings pitched and the elite stuff that Dylan Cease has. Dylan Cease, as I said, is going to make money. He's going to make money. He's got, I believe he's a Scott Boras guy as well. He's going to get top dollar for him. May not be the $30 million that had he pitched himself into the Cy Young consideration this year that he would have gotten in free agency. But Dylan Cease with 200 strikeouts plus 180 innings pitched, that man's going to get paid. Doesn't get hurt. He's always there.
They had injury issues, obviously, in the rotation with Steele and others. Now, one potential complication. Now, Dylan Cease has, history in Chicago with the White Sox. He was drafted by the Cubs originally. Yep. But one complication is the Cubs generally don't like going after guys who get the qualifying offer. And that's going to be one of the big decisions early because they have to give up the draft pick to sign qualifying offer players. And we have talked about that a little bit. Will Dylan Cease get a qualifying offer? Will Michael King get a qualifying offer? Remember, that's $22 million for 1 year. And they can just say, I'll take it, and they're signed. You can't take it back. And would either of them consider taking that? If they reject it, fine. Then you get compensation when they get signed from their future team. That's why you offer it. Would you be mad if either of those guys accepted the 1 year qualifying offer? If you're the Padres, I don't think so.
Not even a little bit.
So
I don't know. Adam brought this up, and can King get the QO?
I've heard both sides of that argument. I need an official
because of the
word
mutual option that he has. I don't know officially, but let's say that he could. You absolutely extend it to both of them. You absolutely do, and you get the draft pick compensation. Gambling that both of them are going to go and test the waters in free agency. Dylan Cease definitely can get one, and I think you give one to him ASAP.
It's kind of early still in the offseason for specific teams to be linked with players, but that report,
unless you're Jim Bowden,
came out of Chicago this weekend. Yeah, we'll talk about that as the week goes on. The ex-GM for the Athletic has already come out with his top 50 free agents and what teams they'd be connected with and what salaries they might get in the offseason.
According to him, Padres are spending about $700 billion in the offseason. So
just to bring old guys back.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know where this money's coming from. But Jim Bowden has us connected to everyone from Drew Pomeranz to Ha-Sung Kim to Dylan Cease to Michael King.
Framber Valdez.
JT Real Muto.
Yeah.
We are going to be loaded next year. If AJ just follows this blueprint, nobody beats us next year.
No.
Now, we're going to have 60 guys on the 26-man roster. We're going to have to do some manipulation, which I've heard works, and I've seen it done to great success up in LA. So if you can do that, you have that money to burn. You get Cease back in July and King back in July, and you go from there. Get JT Real Muto, nice long extended spring training, save his legs. We'll have a really good team come playoffs, according to Jim Bowden. He literally has us on like every single person on there. He's like,
that's a lot of
Padres. Kyle Schwarber to the Padres.
Something along the lines of, with AJ Preller, you can't
never
rule
know
anything out.
That's right.
He has all the insiders so spun out because AJ is so unpredictable.
Yeah, you can't predict.
They don't know what to do. They're uncomfortable making Padres predictions anymore.
And then some of the guys I was looking at, I went, he'd actually be a decent fit here. A guy like Brandon Woodruff. And they got Woodruff coming in at 2 years, $22 million. I said, you get Brandon Woodruff, and I know he's coming off a lat strain. You get him for $222. You do that every single day. He's not connected. So he just has he's got some weird stuff. Jim Bowden's he's an interesting cat.
Yeah, I don't know what his accuracy rate is, but it's how it makes for an interesting read.
One.
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 All right, Paulie, let's get to some of the headlines that we've missed. Time for the Reindl Report. And get things started here with our today's edition of the Reindl Report.
Now tuned into the greatest.
Welcome to the Reindl Report with Paul Reindl.
Hi, Paul.
All right.
2 stories from the world of sports that we haven't gotten to yet.
We'll start off in Major League Baseball.
And 1 story that you didn't know you needed.
Are you laughing, biatch?
It's the Reindl Report
Hey, Paul, how you doing?
Okay, how are you?
on 97.3 The Fan.
Are you ready to bless the mood? I need some help, please.
That was good.
Can I get a yeah? Oh, yeah.
All right.
All right.
All right.
All right. Happy Monday, gentlemen.
Happy Monday.
Let's get started here. A little football. I'm going to save some NFL in case we get to that later on in the morning. But, hey, put some respect on the San Diego State Aztecs football program's name.
How about these guys?
How about these guys? San Diego State taking down Fresno State 23-0 on Saturday. Watched a little bit of that game on, I think it was on FS1 over the weekend. And yeah, defense pitches a shutout, 23-0. San Diego State now bowl eligible at 6-1, coming off a season last year. I think they went 3-9. Believe they lost their last 5 or 6 or 7 games in a row to end the season, and nobody was feeling very good about anything Aztec football related last year. And Sean Lewis has turned that program around, and I'm not going to say they're getting national headlines or anything like that, but I do think they are starting to get on everybody else's radar just a little bit.
Yeah, I think you had reason to be cautiously optimistic the last few weeks. Fresno State's a proud program. They hadn't been shut out at home since 1980. And San Diego State going into Fresno in front of 41,000 fans and not allowing a point. That's the 3rd shutout by the Aztecs this season, plus a game in which they allowed only 3 points. There's no defense in America outside of like Ohio State that has played better than SDSU.
They've given up 50 points, guys. 50 points. That's bananas.
They've got a running game led by Lucky Sutton, who had 131 yards and a touchdown. Denigal didn't have a great game. Got hurt in the 3rd quarter. That was concerning. Came back in, but hey.
When you can run the football, and I mean, he turned it over 1 time. You can run the football, Ben, in college football. I mean, it's you can then do whatever you want.
Special teams has been really good, including kicker Gabe Placencia, the hefty lefty, as they call him. He's made 25 consecutive field goals, which is a new Mountain West record.
I wish I was a lefty, then I could just be the hefty lefty. The hefty righty doesn't rhyme. I think you'll see a lot of excitement if they can take care of business the next 2 weeks against Wyoming this Saturday at home, and then at Hawaii, which is always a tough road trip. Boise State will come to Snapdragon Stadium. Ranked.
They're just outside the top 25, but it'll be for essentially first place in the Mountain West, guaranteeing getting to the Mountain West championship game. I think there will be a ton of excitement for that game. I know Sean Lewis wants to see a lot of people at this Wyoming game as well, but I've got my kind of calendar circled for that Boise State game later in November.
Now they're getting votes, man, for the top 25. Right now they got 14. San Diego State, 14 votes.
Others receiving
votes. No one thought that they would be in the others receiving votes category on October 27th. So credit to them.
Yeah. Credit to them indeed. All right, we'll move on. This is no story here, but maybe just a talker. Wanted to get your guys' thoughts on this. Ben and I were kicking this around late last week when we saw this. So Boomer Esiason apparently went on his radio show. He had a little bit of a topic, and he was talking about why doesn't the NFL ever play games in non-NFL U.S. stadiums? We've seen them go over to Europe, and they're playing in soccer stadiums. Why aren't we seeing that here in the United States? And then people started chiming in. They're like, well, you want to keep it in the same market, different venues.
So give me an example. The Lions playing in...
Comerica Park.
Okay.
Maybe.
like
Like
going
keep
out
it
and
still
doing
in the market.
in the market, but going to play in the baseball stadium.
Switching things up a little bit.
What?
I don't know. That's what
But
Boomer was talking
they're making so much money in the NFL. They started to get bored. They're like, let's do a game on the moon.
This was just Boomer, apparently Boomer Esiason just throwing something out there.
I'm
But,
Boomer Esiason.
right.
I got a great idea. I just play in my backyard this weekend. Anyway, happy birthday.
It's not far off, though, from this idea.
Right. Yeah. So then our buddy up in the state of Washington, Dave Softy Mahler, who does a radio show, who has been going through it as a Seattle sports talk show host.
He tweets every day. He's like, I'm not over it. I
He's
can't
like,
get
I
over
still
it. I'm in
can't.
hell.
I can't stop thinking about it. I
Every
can't
day.
stop thinking about it. So he heard about what Boomer Esiason was talking about as well, and he said, "I've been asking the NFL to play preseason games in high school stadiums. It would be incredible, and you could use the opportunity to spruce up high school stadiums that are in need around the country."
Yeah, NFL foots the bill to get it all dialed
Basically,
in.
build a new stadium for a high school.
Build a new
like
stadium.
Think about
Yeah,
it.
pretty
okay.
much. Yeah.
Less fans, obviously.
Yeah.
You're going to take a hit on the tickets.
It's preseason, though. Who cares?
Nobody cares, and it could definitely you could charge more for the tickets, and I think you would still like. I don't know if you took a stadium, a high school stadium around here, and we don't have a team, but you know what I'm saying? Like that needs the attention. The NFL says, hey, we're going to be the good guys. We're going to go into this market. We're going to build a brand new stadium. It's going to have, there's
Perfect new
2,000
field.
people.
That's
There's
cool.
but like those people that are paying still for preseason games or whatever, you're going to be as close as you've ever been to the
that's cool.
players.
It's a good idea.
I thought that could be an actual good idea. You see baseball teams, they go around, they build little league fields all over their communities. Like, I don't hate that idea.
Yeah, not bad.
It's not bad. The PR would be fantastic. Yes, you couldn't cram 45,000 people into a preseason game at a high school stadium, but
I promise people will at least want to tune in, see what it looks like,
for sure.
check out the product, and then the people that are there, I think, have a great time, and then the community gets a new football stadium.
Yeah, it's a good idea. I like that.
I like that as
Good
well.
idea.
I kind of like it as
Dave.
well.
That was a good idea. This is a bad idea now. To wrap things up here, we have gone to this account in the past. There's an Instagram account called Snackolator, and Snackolator.
Okay.
And he will, or they will, report on the world of food, snacks, etc., candies. We've talked about some of the ridiculous combinations that are coming out over the years. And I got a new one. This came out, this was about a week ago that this guy put out there on his Instagram report that he said Johnsonville, the sausage company that you've probably see all their commercials during college football.
Johnsonville Brats.
Yep, Johnsonville. They are coming out with a sausage that has Dr. Pepper flavor throughout the sausage.
But it's good.
Johnsonville, Dr. Pepper, huge sponsors of like College Game Day, college football, ESPN.
I bet it's elite.
He says he was told, this was at the NACS show. I don't know what that stands for, but it has to do with snacks and food.
We're gonna call it NACS.
So he was at this convention, his trade show, or whatever, and Johnsonville announced that they're bringing out Dr. Pepper flavored sausages.
I bet it's badass.
He was told it's only going to be available to convenience stores at first and then a retail release shortly after. But are you trying Dr. Pepper flavored sausage?
I don't like brats, but I think marinating stuff in that would be pretty good.
Cola always works. As a marinade.
Yeah.
So I'm not a huge Dr. Pepper fan. I've never loved Dr. Pepper, but I could see how it might work as a flavoring agent in a savory meat dish.
When's the last time you had a convenience store hot dog? Ooh. I got so dangerously close over the weekend. Driving back, because the drive-through for Mickey D's in Gila Bend was 85 deep, and my other option in Gila Bend was Subway down the street. I'd rather have eaten dirt. And so I got
there goes that Subway sponsorship.
So I got so dangerously close to just pulling in, walking into the QT or whatever and being like, I'll take a dog. And yeah.
How long has that been sitting there? 8 hours?
It's been
Perfect.
so long since I've done it. It's been ages.
Somewhat of afraid of anything that's on those rollers. That just keep spinning and spinning. They got those taquitos now and the hot dogs. Like,
We'll get Ben a big hot dog and
And
a big gulp for his birthday.
I think you could get one down.
Oh, I could get a hot
You
dog.
can get it down.
I mean, how much better is an actual hot dog than a convenience store hot dog? Probably not that
That's
much.
true. It's not.
I guess we're
It's
talking
not
about hot
filet
dogs.
mignon. I'll do the Chateaubriand in there, and I know
On
it's
the
a little
roller?
bit. Yeah, I know it's a little bit different than it is at Bob's, but when you want steak, you want steak. Ooh, there's a good idea in the chat. How about sausage flavored Dr. Pepper? Would that be any good? I think that would be a little different.
How do you even describe the Dr. Pepper flavor?
You don't. You can't. It's
How many?
just a
We've
Dr.
got
Pepper.
like
23.
23
Yeah.
different
So good.
spices. Or
I had
whatever
one
it
yesterday.
is.
Driving back.
I haven't had a Dr. Pepper in a while.
Oh, so elite.
It's not quite root beer.
No, it's not close to root beer.
It's closer
It's
to
not
root beer
close
than
to
cola.
Root beer. No, it's
It's
not.
like in between.
It's not. No, there's
cola
no
and
root beer flavor.
Cherry has got to be one of the flavors.
I would guess.
But you can also get a cherry Dr. Pepper
can?
as well.
You can. I love DP. Oh. And Dr. Pepper.
Google, when you ask how to describe Dr. Pepper's
Does it say root
flavor,
beer?
What does AI
they
say?
say described as a unique and complex blend of sweet and spicy with dominant notes of cherry and vanilla, and then other undercurrent of various other flavors like cola, caramel, and spices such as cinnamon.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of everything. in it.
Sounds delicious.
It's
I don't
delicious.
know why I've never really
You
loved
probably
Dr.
haven't
Pepper.
had one in a while.
Probably not.
If done right. You know what's really good Dr. Pepper? Las Olas. Where we live.
Really?
Yeah,
Specifically?
elite. Yeah.
How is it different? They're all
You
coming
know
out
it
of
is. You know it is.
I mean,
McDonald's Coke and Sprite tastes better.
Fountain can be different, but
Fountain's
there's no way
different.
that like different restaurants are getting different versions of Dr.
They're
Pepper.
doing it. Some of them give more soda. The ratio I think is better in certain places, but Las Olas is
That's
elite.
just fountain maintenance.
Maybe.
At this point.
Maybe, but McDonald's does it different than any
McDonald's
other
does it better.
place. Any other store.
It does it better. What's the fake Dr. Pepper? Dr. Skipper? You used to get it Sam's or whatever.
I thought Mr. Pibb was
No, Mr. Pibb is a different flavor entirely.
That's
but
not
delicious.
That's not,
it's not
Dr.
the generic
Pepper flavored.
No.
Oh, I
It,
didn't
it
realize
tastes
that.
a little bit like it, but it's not
Okay.
generic. Dr. Skipper is the generic one. Dad, let me get a Dr. Pepper. No, I got a case of Dr. Skippers for you. You cheap bastard. I just wanted to. What is it? Nickel more? A nickel. Just give me the Dr. Pepper. No, we got Dr. Skipper here. You're good. It's so good.
Trying to think.
Thank
Yeah,
you, Paulie.
we had so many. Always the knockoff, the generic brands.
I
Of sodas.
hated the generics, dude. I'll drink in a pinch, but
Trying to look because
was there Dr.
There was
Slash?
Mountain Dew, and then there was like Mountain Splash, Citrus Drop, Mountain Lightning.
Terrible. Shasta pepper. Remember Shasta?
Shasta? Oh, yeah.
I'll drink some of those.
My grandma bought Shastas a lot.
Delicious. Your grandmother had money too. She still bought Shastas.
I think she thought they were better.
Thought they were better.
Yeah.
Higher quality. All right. Thank you, Paulie.
All right, let's look ahead. We got game
Dr.
3
Thunder.
of the
Forgot about that. Walmart
World Series coming up tonight, just up the road in Los Angeles. We'll get a little preview and talk some more baseball when we return with Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
and this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Apparently, even Dave Roberts thought he went a little bit too far
to walk it back
with his comments about the international travel and wondering if there was a little intent and how difficult it was for the Dodgers to return
that word
from
needs
Toronto.
to be banned from his vocabulary.
Can't stop. It's
What did he say today?
Andy McCullough asked him about it. And it says, after causing a bit of a stir by wondering aloud about intent behind the Dodgers' travel delays, getting out of Toronto, Dave Roberts clarified his comments. Canada is not trying to sabotage the Dodgers. I know that. It was just a long day.
Now do Manny Machado, Dave.
Yeah, now do Manny Machado. I made that. He admitted later. I fully made that up as well. Holy cow.
Either way, we will have game 3 tonight of the World Series. 5 o'clock first pitch from Dodger Stadium. Max Scherzer on the mound against Tyler Glasnow. And seems to me, I know it's always the most obvious observation you can make, but Toronto's got to find a way to score some early runs.
Yeah, indeed.
against
Indeed,
Glass now.
they do.
They can't let him go deep the way Yamamoto went deep, eventually the complete game in game.
Was he giving
2.
up like one run in the playoffs?
Not saying it's going to be easy, Paulie, but
I just wanted to make sure.
I don't see necessarily, Max Scherzer, even with his great start, quote unquote start, still only made it into like the 5th inning, right? Or just to the 6th of the last game.
Tyler Glass now has pitched 13 1/3 innings, 7 hits, 1 earned run, 18 strikeouts.
All right.
Making him the 3rd best starter that the Dodgers have had this postseason.
Well, he makes like $200 million.
Right.
So that sounds about right. He should be like 3rd,
He's
4th.
their 3. He's their 3. Yeah, I don't know how the Blue Jays. I mean, again, you felt pretty good with your Savage on the mound, and Gossman's really, really good. He was really, really good. I can't believe I actually saw Blue Jays fans upset that they left him out there after he had mowed down 17. Hindsight being 2020. If John Schneider knew he was going to give up that home run, he would have gone with someone else. Trust me. But Gossman was electric. But man, when you get into the Max Scherzers of the world now, I just don't know. I feel like the Dodgers can tee off on Max. Short leash, I would imagine. Going to have to employ that bullpen, which is okay. It's not great. It's not great, but they need to work Tyler Glass now. They really do. They're going to have first licks tonight, so they're going to need to work Glass now in the first. You can scratch out a run or two. That is the exact game plan you need.
I feel like Toronto's bullpen, if you give them 6 innings and a 3-run lead, they'll hold it for you.
I think so, yeah.
If you're asking them to hold like a 2-run deficit for 7 innings,
right,
not quite as reliable.
And what are you looking for when you say they need to get to Glass now early? Is it jump on him? Is it attack? Or is it work at bats and see some pitches?
It's get that pitch count up.
Because you're trying to get to the bullpen.
You've got to get to the bullpen.
But the broadcast was talking about it in games, I think both games, certainly game 1, they were talking about you can see the approach in the Blue Jays like right away. They are swinging first pitch. They are hunting. They're attacking. That can be an effective strategy, but that also doesn't bode well with seeing pitches and working to try to get to their bullpen.
I mean, again, I feel like Max Scherzer for these guys is going to be. I think the Dodgers are giddy about getting to the ballpark today. I really do. Like, I feel like they look at a guy like Max Scherzer and they're like, we can tee off on this dude.
What did the Toronto Blue Jays do so successfully that got them to the World Series in a 1-0 lead? They hit with runners in scoring position. What didn't they do against Yamamoto in the first inning? They had 3 chances right there with runners in scoring position, runners at the corners, didn't hit. They're going to have to continue to hit at a remarkable pace with runners in scoring position to score the runs that will allow them to compete with the Dodgers. They don't do that in a game, they're toast. They've done it really well this postseason. They did not do it in game 2. Can they get back to it in game 3? When they have those opportunities and they get a runner out at second, can they bring that runner home? That'll give them a chance at least.
Yep. Yeah, it should be good. I mean, it's great. It's a World Series game, man. I'm super excited for it. 508 again? 508 start?
508.
Okay,
yes.
good.
All right, let's give away a prize because we've got a pretty cool giveaway. At least today, we're just going to give it to the 5th caller, 833-288-0973, a 4-pack of tickets to Snow Jam at the Del Mar Fairgrounds, good for all 3 days, and a $100 gift card. It's San Diego's huge annual ski and snowboard expo, November 7th through 9th at the Del Mar Fairgrounds. Preseason deals on brand new brand name equipment and clothing from all the top manufacturers, experts on site to help you get the right gear. And then you take it home, you're ready to go. You can get your own discount admission tickets online at snowjamshow.com or win them right now by calling 833-288-0973. Come back. We can wrap up a little more of the weekend in football and more to a final segment of Ben Woods next on 97.3 The Fan.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. GEGE 000-466. For a full list of games and rules, played at 7 Mile Casino. Visit 7milecasino.com.
Meanwhile, we can tell you about 7 Mile Casino, our place to play cards. So easy to get to. Other card rooms in San Diego. Big drive. Woods and I both had a road trip this weekend. Why do it if you don't have to? You don't have to drive 45 minutes to an hour onto the East County. You hop on the 5 freeway, head south toward Chula Vista, get off at E. You're already on Bay Boulevard, west side of the freeway, and within about a quarter of a mile, you're pulling into the very convenient parking lot at 7 Mile Casino.
That's exactly right. Got all the card games that you're looking for. California-style blackjack. They've got Texas Hold'em. They got Pai Gow. They got Baccarat. And listen, they take great care of you when you go in as well. They'll give you a discount on food if you're playing. The food is spectacular. They got a great bar area and a great patio area as well. I've been to 7 Mile Casino, didn't gamble a bit. Just walked in, had lunch, and left. That's available for you too. The food from Sammy's is outstanding, and their 24/7 players menu cannot be beat.
If you have not checked it out, what are you waiting for? This is your week. Head down to 7 Mile Casino, just 7 minutes from downtown.
Pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
know you are you're protesting the NBA on moral grounds.
Correct. Always have.
So you've probably missed Victor Wembanyama turning into like a superhero, like a giant-sized superhero in the NBA in the first 3 games for the San Antonio Spurs.
I've missed it entirely.
He's like grown to 7'7". He's hitting 3-pointers from the logo. He's blocking, I don't know, about half a dozen shots a game.
He had a
He's
sequence
dunking
the other
over
night.
other 7-footers. It's nuts what he's doing already.
Some guy on the other team, they try to go for a layup. He pinned it against the backboard. Then the other team still got the offensive rebound, went up again. He blocked that, just took the ball out of the air this time, dribbled down court and shot a 3 from about 10 feet behind the line.
Yeah,
and you're just like, huh.
I just looked at the standings for the first time all season. Yeah, 3-0. They're scoring 120 points a game. Their point differential, Ben, is plus 16. Highest in the NBA? Yeah, highest in the NBA.
He is, he was good first couple of seasons and all the hype coming over from France when he was drafted first overall. But I think we forget he was like 19 and 20 his first 2 years. He's still just 21 years old. He's a baby. And he is turning into what I think why they had so much hype for him now. We're starting to see that from Wemby.
Do you feel any remorse on giving up the Lakers after Luka averaging 46 a game?
Yeah, but he's hurt now. He's out for a week with a sprained finger at least. Although Austin Reeves went for 51 last night in a win.
As
I saw that. I
expected.
didn't watch the game because I'm not really a Lakers fan, so I missed that game entirely.
Any remorse?
Not really.
Right.
I think maybe I'll be a Spurs fan going forward. Seems like a good time to jump
Great
on
time
board.
to
with
jump.
San
You know
Antonio
what? If you want to
Spurs
do
right
it, do
now.
it right. Go to the Brooklyn Nets, Ben. Started 0-3 this year. If you really want to do it the right way.
I think the Thunder, though, are still going to be very difficult to beat. 2 double overtime victories to start their title defense. They're now, I think, 3-0 to start the season as well. And my son, who's a Clippers fan, thought this NBA scandal is great because it's now distracted from the Clippers scandal.
Yeah.
Everyone's forgotten about that and now has moved on to
the
Chauncey Billups and everything else that's going on with the NBA. What, Kawhi got a few extra dollars for an endorsement? Who cares? That's nothing compared to our new scandal today. So he had actually 30-10 in the Clippers win over the Blazers yesterday. So
Yeah,
Kawhi
I missed
healthy
it
to
all.
start the season.
Again, as soon as they clean the league up, I'll be back.
I know.
You know, but until that day comes.
Sports Talk on the Fan, presented by Paramount Plus. You can't count on much, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday all season long. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. We'll have Monday Night Football for you tonight. Speaking of the NFL, with the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Washington Commanders. I believe that's a 5:15 kickoff here on 97.3 The
Good
Fan.
game.
Yeah, not bad. The Chiefs have certainly seemed like they've cleaned things up after a bit of a slow start. I don't know what the spread was, but by the way, who did you pick on we did a football threesome on Wednesday?
I don't remember.
4th win in a row, I guess.
Wow,
yeah,
look at you.
I picked the Patriots.
I don't even remember. who my
Minus
pick was.
6.5, and they cruised after a slow start over the Cleveland Browns.
Did I say Buffalo? I don't know.
I think
the Browns played the Jets.
Bengals.
Bengals played the Jets.
That's right.
Same state. You're in the neighborhood.
Listen, man, Sundays are T-ball and baseball till like 3:00. So I get home. I watched a little bit of the Sunday night football game. I watched until the SDFC game started. I'm just out of the loop. I'm baseball practice at 9, right into T-ball. Come home and you're like, all right, it's 3:00. I've missed all of the games. I've missed everything. So I'm just this is life now. Such is life.
I was trying to figure out what happened with the Baltimore Ravens and Lamar Jackson.
So that was an interesting story. I thought about including it in Don't Do This, but we had so much else going on.
Like this
so
had,
Lamar Jackson's
gambling
been out. He's been out
implications.
for weeks.
Yep.
He came back.
He got cleared, right?
He came back as a limited practice participant. They had him listed as limited on Wednesday and Thursday. And then on Friday, they listed him as a full participant, which makes it seem as though
he's starting.
He's back. He's going to start. So Baltimore, who were they playing? Yeah, their opponent's going to think, okay, we're getting ready for Lamar Jackson. Well, he didn't end up playing at all. And it turned out he didn't really practice fully. He took snaps against the scout team like fully, but they didn't have him in. And according to the Bears. And according to NFL rules, if you take, even if you're out there, if you're not taking snaps with the first team like you normally are, you need to be listed as limited again. So the Ravens are potentially facing, some sort of fine or punishment from the NFL. John Harbaugh said, honestly, I don't even do that. It's the trainers and the media staff that lists what
it's an honest mistake, he said.
He said, honest mistake. We knew he wasn't. I mean, he was out there for the whole practice, so we said he was full, I guess. But according to the NFL rules, if you read them closely, he should not have been listed as a full participant in practice for the Ravens in that game. Now, they did win, and they are supposed to be getting him back next week, and they're still just 2-5. But
if
they could come back now.
So let's say you're Ben Johnson and the Chicago Bears,
right?
And you're preparing all week for Lamar. And then they say, hey, actually, Lamar's not playing. Aren't you elated at that point?
Yeah.
I know he hasn't had the best.
Tyler Huntley is going to.
Yeah, Tyler Huntley instead. Okay. I know we game planned for Lamar Jackson. But I mean,
you're happy he's not playing, but you do all right, the scrambling ability and everything. You're probably focusing a lot more in practice on containment and making sure he doesn't get, beat us with his legs. Whereas with Huntley, you're probably practicing different things in order to contain him.
If you're John Schneider and Dave Roberts says, actually, Glasnow's not on the bump tonight and Otani's not pitching tomorrow, I'm like, great. Go to a bullpen game. We will figure it out.
We weren't prepared for Emmett Sheehan tonight.
Yeah, we were not prepared for Emmett Sheehan. We were prepared for Tyler Glasnow. How dare you practice this level of gamesmanship? But I don't know. I mean, again, I think coaches, and Ben Johnson said, I said earlier in the week we were preparing for Lamar, and then we found out he wasn't playing. Then we get ready for the next guy. So
the Ravens put out a statement on Saturday because we've been talking about gambling in sports all morning.
Yeah.
There were a lot of implications on that because I think the Bears, the line when Lamar was playing got up to 6.5, 7 points. Then all of a sudden he's out and it's a 2-point spread, and people are like, "Well, I got it when it was 6 or whatever." The casinos, I'm sure, were pissed. The team had to say, they said Lamar Jackson was present for and participated fully in the entire Friday practice. Upon further evaluation today and after conferring with the league office, because Lamar didn't take starter reps, we updated our report to reflect his practice participation.
Does anyone believe it was an honest mistake?
I kind of do.
I checked the wrong box. That's what you're.
It was the PR staff said he was out there the whole practice, so I thought that meant full, and they just didn't know what the rules were in terms of what really means full practice or not.
He's been a coach in the league.
He said he doesn't.
I understand, but the buck stops there, right?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, everything just kind of points back to, they're going to be watching everything with a microscope. You got to make sure your T's are dotted and your I's are crossed. By the way, doesn't make sense. Your I's are dotted and your T's are crossed.
Tonight is a sports equinox. You remember what
one
those
of your
are?
favorite bits?
Yeah, it's all four major professional sports. How do you get that so fast?
Because he's young.
MLB,
it's easier for
World
young
Series,
guys.
obviously. NBA, NHL, and NFL Monday Night
What
Football.
if you got a scorigami in a couple of
during
months?
an equinox?
Oh, my God. Oh.
Goodness gracious, that would be incredible. Oh, my goodness.
Let's spin the topic wheel.
All right, let's check traffic and then a little topic wheel to wrap things up here on a Monday on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is brought to you by Toyota of Poway, voted San Diego's #1 Toyota dealership by USA Today. Got a few things wrapping up our morning drive. One of them is some debris in middle lanes on northbound 15 before Market Street. Also collision over the right shoulder, northbound 25 before the King Freeway. And on Plaza Drive on-ramp to eastbound 78, two-vehicle accident. Toyota of Poway has been voted San Diego's #1 Toyota dealer by USA Today with APRs as low as 0% and tons of new Toyotas on the ground. No tricks, only treats during the Trucktober sales event happening now only at Toyota of Poway or online at toyotaofpoway.com in the heart of San Diego. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben & Wood, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Well, it was spinning, and then it kind of choppiness.
What happened to that thing?
There we go.
This is a good one. I like this. I put this one in here myself. Should people be allowed to sing at concerts?
Yes. Are
No.
you kidding? Yes.
I hate that. You go to
Wow,
see.
I was not expecting you both to be so split.
You go to see the band singing, and everyone else singing ruins the experience. Now, if every once in a while the band wants to do that, we're going to be quiet, and then you sing the chorus once. But like, I don't want to sit next, and I'm not a concert guy, but I don't want to sit next to the guy that's singing every single song in my ear while I am watching the band that I've paid money to
Come
go see.
on. What do you guys stand in the corner, cross your arms?
I mean,
get
you can
up,
cheer,
dance,
you can
sing.
Dance, fine. Dance, no
don't
problem.
dance. Actually.
Sing,
Dancing
don't sing.
is worse. Sing along.
Do not sing along.
Always sing along.
Interesting.
I sing every word at a show.
Yeah, nobody's paying to hear you sing it.
Exactly.
I
They're paying
sing
to hear
every
Chino
word.
sing it.
Oh, I sing every word. I insist that others with me also sing. I'm going to see Deftones on Saturday. You're going to see me.
You
on
even need the Deftones? Why don't you just get about 70 friends and you just all sing together? You don't even need them there. You won't be able to hear them if you're all singing.
Oh, I love it. I sing so loud at every show. I come home
I
from
had no
shows
idea.
and I am
I
cashed.
did not picture you singing along at every show.
Not only singing, you'll get full air drums, full, and
Air
also
drum's
guitar,
fine.
also fake
fine.
guitar.
Don't
Yes.
sing.
I love it.
Let them do the singing. They're paid highly, trained professionals.
One of my favorite memories is being at that Oasis show for my 50th, and the whole 80,000 people are singing with the band because we need each other. The whole place is going bananas. Everyone's singing along to Wonderwall. There's nothing like it. It was nothing like it.
You know, if there's one moment,
It wasn't
where
one moment. It was just the whole show.
The whole show.
The whole show. We sang every word as loud as we could. And there's video on my Instagram to prove it. Oh, I love it. I love the air drum bit. And you realize if somebody knew me and they were filming me the entire concert, I couldn't watch the video. I would die of cringe embarrassment. I would die because I can't just sit and just cross my arms. That's a big problem with San Diego. I'm going to tell you right now, and LA, that you go to other places, you go to concerts in other places, people are more into it. And bands have actually said, like, West Coast gets a little bit kind of mellow and too cool, standing in the back, leaning against the wall. New York, gets a little of that. But you go see Ozzy or something back in the day in Texas.
We have not that far away, 2 months away from our less than 2 months to our Christmas and holiday extravaganza. We have an in-studio audience.
We do.
Would you like the whole audience just doing Ben and Woods the entire time?
Yeah,
if they knew
what we were going to say, sure, I think it would be awesome. Oh, I love it. You have to sing at a show. This is a great one, Paulie.
You think, of course, you should be allowed, but then you start thinking about it. At least me, I'm like, yeah, I'm paying all this money.
So you went to Foo Fighters, and you weren't sitting there going, "What if I say?"
No, I probably was, and I'm probably guilty of it.
You hear the new Foo Fighters song, by the way?
Once. You don't like anything new from them, though.
Every song they've written has gotten worse over the years.
You think that about every single band?
I don't.
Yes, you
No,
do.
I do not. New Deftones out. I love it. I think it's phenomenal. I love it. It's brilliant. They're the one that I'm like, how can the name of the
Just wait for that new Oasis album.
I'll love it. No, I will love it.
All right, this isn't a topic. This is a Woods topic. Which album is generally the best, like in a band's history? Their second album, right?
Second or third
album. It's
always first is pretty kick-ass on a lot of bands.
Sometimes
That's how
it
gets you into it. They have
a lot of bands put out one that's not that well received, and then they kind of find their footing. And the second or third albums, they're big, giant album, and then it goes well off the map.
I hadn't heard it yet. It popped up a notification that there was a new Foo Fighters song, so I thought I would listen. And the name of the song bothered me from the jump. It's called it's called "Asking for a Friend," and I'm like, oh, what's next? Hey, this is our new single, "Hold My Beer" by the Foo Fighters. It's just really. They just haven't written a good song.
Is it a
years.
dual meaning? Like I'm asking for a friend.
No, it's just one of those. What's next? 6'7"? They're gonna do 6'7". Foo Fighters 6'7", 6'7". They've just gotten bad, and it kind of makes me sad. This is not a good song.
You say the same thing about like
it sounds like Nickelback. This new song sounds like a Nickelback song. Not that there's anything wrong with Nickelback, but Nickelback sounds like Nickelback. You like a Nickelback song?
I do. Yeah. Not all of them.
It's just they got old for sure, and the songwriting is just gone. It's just gone to pot.
I mean, we don't want like the Rolling Stones still releasing music.
It's tough.
Doesn't feel.
It's tough. It's tough scene. I get it. Paulie likes the Foo Fighters. I want to ask you if he's heard the song. When you go listen to it again when we get out of here.
Oh well.
You tell me if it
I
doesn't
like the
sound
last album.
See, I didn't like the last.
I didn't like the
album.
one before that.
That was
like,
dog ass.
shame,
Oh my
shame.
god, it was so bad.
But the first album
does
post
he just take,
Taylor Hawkins.
Does he just take phrases and Hold My Beer by the Foo Fighters coming up now. Right here on 97.3. I love you. I'm sorry.
Stop singing at concerts.
All right, that's it for us. We will be back tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Braden's coming up next for executive producer Paul Reindl, for Stephen Woods. The band all back together today on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. So long, everybody.